And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dr. Pepper Ballpark, Frisco, Texas. It's the 2021 Lone Star Diamond Classic. The Jaguars of Southern University taking on the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Welcome into the broadcast booth. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford, former Florida A&M alum, just like the young lady who just got through singing. Florida A&M all on the broadcast today, Brian.
Former, forever and a day to the day I die, a Florida A&M Rattler. So it's good to hear a Rattler bring in the Negro National Anthem. Beautiful rendition. Probably a little longer than everyone thought it might be, but we were just blessed with something we didn't even know we were blessed with.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get right into it today, Brian. Game 3, the Golden Lions trying to avoid the sweep today. They'll be the home team. The Southern Jags this weekend, though, I mean, they're going to try to complete the sweep. And, you know, they've been kind of doing things with their bats. 15 runs and 11 runs. I think I got them for 26 on the weekend.
Sounds about right. 11-8 on game 1, 15-7 game 2. And, you know, the funny thing, though, Nick, we have not had an inning. Well, let me double-check my stats.
It's been so topsy-turvy.
Well, I don't think we've had an inning with more than 4 runs scored in it.
Mm-hmm.
If my recollection and my stats are correct, we haven't had an inning with more than 4 runs. And I don't think we've had an inning where the lineup has batted gone into the second cycle of the lineup. We've had a couple of innings where we've gone 1-9, but nothing too extreme. So we'll see. We'll see what Game 3 has in store for us.
Sounds good. Let's get right into it. The Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff trying to avoid the sweep. You know, they've had a couple of bright spots over the weekend, but, you know, they're just having a little trouble kind of getting over that hump right here. Let's take a look at the defensive lineups for the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. In the outfield from left to right, Casey Higgins. Center field, Davion White, McKinley, and Bentley in right field. Around the horn from third to first, Humberto Maldonado, Jar Parker, Carson Vasquez, and Nick Kreutzer. Behind the dish will be Jackson Rincau. And on the mound today for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff, Tony Horn. I also got a chance to see Tony Horn a couple of weeks ago there in Houston, Texas. And, just some things you'll see from this guy today. Not the livest fastball, but he will get over the plate trying to throw some strikes. And one thing we talked about, trying to keep this Southern Jaguars offense off balance. And here comes the first pitch of the afternoon, and called ball on the outside half. And we are ready for action here in Frisco, Texas. Beautiful ball day out here. Beautiful ball. Nice breeze coming through the broadcast booth. I had to put on my jacket. You did too, with our hood as well.
With our hoods on in the box. So yeah.
Isaiah Adams leading things off here for the Jaguars, the freshman from Mesa, Arizona. 2 for 9 on the weekend. He'll be playing center field today. He started out in left field on Friday and Saturday. Here's a ground ball right back up the box. Jar Parker gets to it, but he can't make the play. Great job by keeping that one in the infield. Isaiah Adams leads off with another leadoff single for the Jags.
That's very similar to what he did in Game 1. Started Game 1, first pitch with a single. Popped out in his first opening at bat in Game 2. So Adams and the Jaguars already on the base pads, ready to do some damage early.
Judah Wilbur, the transfer from Chicago State, junior from Denver, Colorado, 3 for 9 on the weekend. He's the starting shortstop today for the Jags. He takes the ball on the outside half. Judah Wilbur's flashed his glove all weekend. Him and Bubba Thompson up the middle. I haven't seen too many middle infields like that lately.
It's a very solid infield that Southern has with Moore, Wilbur, Thompson, and Porter.
Adams takes the lead. Horn picks off. And they'll just get his jersey dirty over there.
So even though the temperature says it's 68, feels about 61 out of the shade.
Fly ball swung on down the right field line into the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. You're right. I mean, the sun is out. I can see the flags waving just a tad bit. Frisco's a nice area.
Could not have asked for a better weekend for this classic. 3 beautiful days that we've had so far.
Here's the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball between the shortstop and the third baseman. And 2 singles for the Jaguars to start this contest.
Good piece of hitting by Wilbur. And so what we've seen is in this series thus far, when Southern's lineup, especially at the top, starts the game off hot, advantage Southern, we get a lot of runs.
Absolutely.
Yesterday they went 1, 2, 3 out. Arkansas Pine Bluff got off to a good start.
O'Neal Burgess to the box, 4 for 12 on the weekend. Here's the pitch, sweeping curveball, misses inside. The sophomore from Brookhaven, Mississippi.
And what we have become familiar with from Southern is the double steal, so that's something we'll be looking for here coming up.
Let's see how Coach James wants to play that. 2 good speedmen, 2 good speedsters there on the base paths. Here's the pitch from Horn. Touches the outside corner for strike 1.
In game 1 with the runner on, Burgos hit a double that brought in Adams in game 1.
Isaiah Adams sitting on second. Judah Wilbur, the runner, at first. There's a shot down the left field line into the bullpen of the Golden Lions. I guess they'll keep that souvenir. They'll probably warm up with that in a couple of innings or so. I've caught a couple of bullpen balls in my day. Here's the pick off to second base, Jar Parker. Not trying to let these Southern runners get too comfortable on the base paths. They take some really good leads as we've seen this weekend. Here's the pitch. And just misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tony Horn trying to put O'Neal Burgess away. Tony Horn, the senior from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Here's the pitch. Swung on, strike 3. Tony Horn with the first out of the day, the first strikeout of the day. And that'll bring up first baseman Taj Porter, who's had a heck of a weekend.
Yes, he has.
3 for 6, but with a massive amount of plate appearances.
17 total bases yesterday. On-base percentage is probably shooting through the roof right now.
And Tony Horn trying to touch the outside corner for strike 1.
And if I'm not mistaken, Nick, Taj was batting right-handed in the 2 previous games.
So it looks like he's a switch hitter. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Let's see if his left side is a strong side. Here's the pitch. Just missed inside. Ball 1. Tony Horn, the transfer from Tabor College. Making a jump to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here's the pitch. And misses outside. Isaiah Adams getting a little too comfortable down there at second base. Had a big secondary on that. Let's see if one of the Arkansas Pine Bluff coaches picks that up.
Well, Horn has not given him any attention in these past 4 pitches. So I would not be surprised if you keep giving him that kind of time. He might go.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the ball in the dirt. Can't advance on that base was occupied at first. So 2 consecutive strikeouts for Tony Horn. And that'll bring up Tremaine Spears, the right fielder, who's 4 for 7 on the weekend. Tremaine Spears hit a long ball yesterday. Got a chance to put one out of a minor league ballpark. That's always a fun thing to do. Swing and a miss, strike 1. You know, I think the right fielders and the center fielders are happy that this game didn't start at 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock today. They've had a tough time out there battling that Dallas sun setting right in the face of the right side of the baseball field. Right field, center field, first base, second base.
Yes, indeed.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
I gotta believe Mr. Horn is in a groove, and his attention and focus is completely on the batter. Again, has not checked Adams over at second base in this at bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Horn will try to put him away right here. Catcher sets up high, and he just missed the spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deuces are wild here.
Yes, indeed. Deuce is wild. Tap the cap. 2 fingers. Let's
Tap
go.
the cap. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Falls right in between the Texas triangle. And an RBI single for Tremaine Spears to start this contest and give the Jaguars a 1-0 lead.
Tremaine continues his hot hitting in this series.
Just couldn't do anything about that. Great piece of hitting there by Tremaine Spears. Right over the head of shortstop Jar Parker. That'll bring up Xavier Moore, the third baseman. 1 for 4 on the weekend. Xavier's had a clean glove as well. Swung on. Shot into left field. That'll score. Judah Wilbur around third. And the Jaguars 2, the Golden Lions 0.
Yeah, that's a good at bat for Moore, who, he's been hit by a pitch 3 times. He was hit twice by a pitch and walked twice yesterday. So I'm sure he's glad to actually be on base by his own efforts.
Bubba Thompson steps into the box, the second baseman from Hortonville, Wisconsin. Some like to say Wisconsin. Bubba Thompson on the weekend, 3 for 9. First baseman playing in right here in front of the bag. Big first baseman, number 44, Nick Kreutzer. And I've got 2 balls, no strikes. Bubba Thompson looking for something to drive right here. Hitters count. And misses far outside. 3-0, and I'm assuming he's going to have an automatic take sign right here.
Well, Horn definitely needs to find his composure. Got 2 strikeouts on 2 consecutive batters, and then has allowed 2 consecutive hits and deep counts.
And there's the strike.
You mentioned Kreutzer on first base.
Swing and a miss. Foul tip.
Kreutzer actually playing first base for Connor James. James injured his, let's just say, an upper extremity.
Yes.
Probably a shoulder or a wrist, something on that left side in yesterday's game.
And runners take off. Strike 3. And the Golden Lions stop the bleeding. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. 2 Jaguars left on base after a half inning of play. The Jaguars 2, the Golden Lions 0. But we'll be right back. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment.
Welcome back. It's the 2021 Lone Star Diamond Classic from Frisco, Texas. Dr. Pepper Ballpark, Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford hanging out with you. Southern Jacks take the lead early on. They score 2 on 2 consecutive singles, as that'll bring up the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Let's take a look at their lineup on the offensive side. It'll look as though Jar Parker will lead things off, playing shortstop. Carson Vasquez, Nick Kreutzer, Humberto Maldonado, Braylon Hintz, Casey Higgins, McKyron Bentley, Jackson Rinkow, and Davion White to round things out for the Golden Lions. Pitching for the Jaguars today, Joseph Battaglia, as he starts things off with a called strike for the Jags. A little bit about Joseph Battaglia.
Well, this is his 5th appearance, 5th game started. Has a 4.95 ERA.
There's a shot down the right field line, foul.
In 20 innings pitched, has allowed 24 hits on 11 earned runs, struck out 13, faced 82 batters. Batters are batting .293 against him.
And great job there getting that curveball over for strike 3.
14th strikeout of the year. He's one of, if you look at it statistically, he is one of Southern's top 2, has a record of 2-1 on the season.
Joseph Battaglia will try to use that attack and close out this series for the Jags. Carson Vasquez steps into the box, the sophomore from Alameda, California. Vasquez playing second base today. It's foul ball.
Quite a start we have had. 4 outs, 3 by all by strikeouts.
That's right.
All by strikeouts so far.
There's a shot, left field.
There goes that streak.
Jalee Hendricks Picks it up in foul territory, drops it, but the umpire had already called out on the exchange. We'll call that F to 7. And 2 up, 2 down so far here for the Jags. That'll bring up Nick Kreutzer. Kreutzer, as you said, coming in for Connor James, the first baseman. Kreutzer's played in all 3 games this weekend. From Westminster, Colorado. Here's the pitch. And just missing. 2 balls, no strikes. Kreutzer showed a little power this weekend himself. And just missing there. 3 balls, no strikes. Coach James and the Golden Lions trying to avoid the sweep today. There's a strike. But on the flip side, Brian, the Jags trying to make it 9 in a row.
Yeah, trying to push this streak.
There's a swing and a miss.
I believe we got a 2-2 count. Not sure, the scoreboard might be a little bit off, but I think the count is 2-2.
Here comes the pitch from Battaglia, swung on and foul. If it wasn't 3-2 before, it's 3-2 now.
Our in-house statistician corrects me. It is full count.
Defensive alignment, or the defensive shift, is on for Kreutzer. There's a ground ball to the Southern Jaguars dugout.
Wake up over there, guys. Wake up.
Third baseman playing shortstop. Judah Wilbur behind the bag at second base. And the second baseman deep in the grass. Here's the pitch. And misses outside, ball 4. So Kreutzer reaches first base with a walk. And that'll bring up Humberto Maldonado. Maldonado, the junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's really shown some bright spots in his game this weekend.
He has. He came in relief in game 1, went 2 for 2, including a home run. A part of that big first inning in game 2, drawing a walk.
And the ball gets away, but I don't think Kreutzer is thinking about advancing on a close pass ball.
No, not that close. That ball would need to go out towards the the southern dugout before Kreutzer's on the move.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. .409 straightaway center, 335 down the lines. Nice sized ballpark here.
Ooh, it's tight.
And just missed inside, 3 balls and a strike.
Big opportunity here for Maldonado.
Pitch. Swung on, high fly ball, center field. Isaiah Adams, can of corn. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 Golden Lion left on base after a full inning of play. The Jaguars 2, the Golden Lions 0. We'll be right back. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr.
Sports Network. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic. The Jaguars of Southern University in town, taking on the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Here's the pitch to the batter, Brandon Green. He'll lead things off here for the Jaguars. His first piece of action this weekend. He's behind the dish. Brandon Green from Chicago, Illinois, my alma mater, Kenwood Academy. A tradition of excellence in baseball.
And what would you say Kenwood Academy is known for? What is
besides baseball?
Besides baseball.
Okay, all right.
Besides baseball.
I would say Kenwood Academy in Hyde Park area of Chicago, home of President Barack Obama.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's a swing, ground ball, second base. And Carson Vasquez puts Brandon Green away, 4-3 for scoring at home.
Nice piece of hitting there by Green. Instead of just sitting back and taking the strikeout, tried to make something happen with that one. You never know. You slap it out there and anything positive could happen. You might be able to run it out. The second baseman might bobble it. Obviously, with that side of the field, we know what the Sun's been having. Anything might happen. So, like the effort there.
Jaleel Hendricks to the box for the Jags. His first action this weekend as well. He's playing left field today.
That's the second first pitch that Mr. Horn has thrown either high, tight, or behind the batter.
And now he comes to the strike. A lot of action around the Southwestern Athletic Conference this weekend. And there's a fly ball, left field, trying to get to it is Higgins, and he's out. Great catch there by the left fielder, Casey Higgins.
Beautiful adjustment by Higgins, and even willing to give up his body a little bit to make that play. And that's the kind of plays that Arkansas Pine Bluff needs today, especially from their outfield, to get Southern off the field.
Yeah, a couple of miscues in the outfield by the Golden Lions yesterday as well. There's a shot by Isaiah Adams out of play foul.
And you mentioned the weekend that's happening around the SWAC. Nick, it's been so far we've had 2 sweeps so far, and who knows, we're on the verge of possibly having a third.
Oh, wow. So that's the Jackson State versus Alabama A&M series. Jackson State swept that one, and Alabama State over, is that Alcorn?
Well, I shouldn't jump the gun on that because obviously Game 3 of Jackson State, Alabama A&M is going on right now. But, I mean, the first two games were 30-3.
Oh, wow.
In favor of Jackson State.
Another single there by Isaiah Adams. He just keeps getting on base. 2 for 2 today. Yeah, Alabama A&M just got the new coach there. From former assistant at Grambling State University, his first year of action. Corbin Green steps in as assistant from Wiley College.
And then Alabama State took care of Alcorn State after the doubleheader yesterday, 10-9 and 11-1.
Alabama State putting up some good numbers as usual. Turned that program around. Head coach Melendez turns it over to Mr. Vasquez. Here's the pitch by Horn. Strike on the outside half. Judah Wilbur to the box now with the single and a run scored already. Alcorn State just trying to get over that hump. Head coach Brett Richardson down there comes from your alma mater, fam. Here's a shot to the first baseman, Nick Kreutzer, making a dive and stab to end the inning and save some runs there for the Golden Lions. No runs that inning, one hit, no errors. One Jaguar left on base. After 1.5, the Jaguars still lead 2-0. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Aves' record. 202 and 36, I think, some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. The whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Braylon Hintz, Casey Higgins, and McKyron Bentley will be your next three batters for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford hanging out with you. Dr. Pepper Ballpark, Frisco, Texas. It's the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network. Jaguars 2, the Golden Lions 0. Golden Lions trying to get back into this contest. They're not out of it just yet, only down 2 runs, but trying to make a stand here as Braylon Hintz steps into the box. He's the DH for the day. Hence the hometown kid from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, redshirt sophomore. Also another hometown hero for Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Torrey Hunter. We had him on the broadcast yesterday. Talked about his relationship with Arkansas Pine Bluff and the Arkansas Pine Bluff head coach, Carlos James, along with Urban Hydration, sponsor for this classic. Braylon Hintz shows bunt, pulls it back. I've got a chance to go to Pine Bluff a couple of times, and I just remember playing there, man, and it's tough to play in Arkansas Pine Bluff. It's definitely tough to play on that campus. That's not a place you just kind of go into and, you just kind of go and feel comfortable and kind of, come back home. No, not in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's a swing and a miss.
What is it? Is it the crowd? It was the atmosphere, the weather.
Well, the crowd was definitely. I remember the crowd because it's right up on you. They used to play at a park. Now they have the same field. They've hooked it up a little bit. But that crowd used to kind of be right up on you. It's kind of like when you come to Houston and you play against Texas Southern. The crowd is like right behind the fence. You can hear everybody now, but when the crowd is close to you, right behind the fence, and they're just yelling at you, and, you got the fraternities out there, the sororities. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's all up on your back, man. It's a good feeling down there. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but just the way they play baseball down there in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Braylon Hintz draws a walk for the Golden Lions. He reaches first base. That'll bring up Casey Higgins. See if Coach James wants to play a little small ball here. The name of the game is to advance the runners. And he stays away. Ball one. What was a fan baseball game like when you were on campus?
There were good crowds. Good crowds. I mean, a small park, obviously, but good crowds.
There's a ground ball. Hit to Xavier Moore, 5-4, and he'll get one out. Xavier Moore gets one. Fielder's choice. It'll go down in the book. Casey Higgins reaches base. Great job there by Xavier Moore, showing you how it's done. McKyron Bentley to the box now. His first AB for the day. And what were you saying about fam? Small park?
I mean, small park, but good crowds, especially when you get into the spring. You know, as you said, I think all of the HBCUs, when you start having the closeness of your facilities, it does bring out, you know, the frats and sororities and some good support. So.
Now, when you were there, was there anybody there that made it pro, or any, you know, popular names there at FAM, or did you miss the Marquise Grissom days and the Andre Dawson days? And
oh, I definitely miss those days. Definitely miss those days.
I normally don't jump in, but I will answer the question. Because actually, the young man who did make it out during our time, during that time when we were at Florida A&M, is a gentleman named Willie Brown. Willie was actually the highest drafted player out of Tallahassee, period. Even Florida State that year, he was in the Marlins farm system. And he's a good friend of mine. We share a birthday and all that good stuff. But, yeah, he played in the minors for about 4 years, I believe. He got called up once and then went back and then came back. So, yeah, he was a really good guy.
Here's the pitch. And when you say mine, this is your first time on the mic this weekend. Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, normally we just like to refer to me as that voice of God. I don't put my name out there a whole lot, but this is CEO and President of the Jericho Broadcast Networks and the Black College Sports Network, Roy Evans.
Super producer.
Super producer. Strikeout there by Joe Battaglia. That'll bring up Jackson Rincow, the junior catcher from Lee Summit, Missouri. Snap throw down to first base. Safe. Good arm there by Brandon Green, the catcher from Southern University. The Rattlers. Now, what did the game look like when you all played Florida State? Did you all go to that game, or did they play Florida State while you all were there? Or?
No, there were not too many, not in men's sports. There weren't too many crosstown rivalries.
There's a ground ball swung on. Shortstop Wilbur Juder takes it across. 6-3 for scoring at home. Great play there by the shortstop from Denver, Colorado. No runs, no hits, no errors. One Jaguar left on base. After 2 innings of play, they lead 2-0. We'll be right back. You're watching Black College Baseball. It's the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
3-4-5 coming up here for the Jaguars to lead things off in the top half of the third inning. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford. Southern Jags, Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions here at Frisco, Texas. There's a ground ball down the line, foul. As O'Neal Burgess leads things off here for the Jags. Burgess struck out in his first AB.
O'Neal coming out swinging on the first pitch.
Well, after you drop a K on your name, you're definitely anxious to put that hit out in the outfield. Burgess, the DH. And there's a shot towards the center fielder. Davion White right there. Can of corn. One away here for the Golden Lions. Your boy, Taj Porter, comes up to the box. There's a foul ball into the stands. DJ back again, I see. Is that DJ Red and Big Bink? Was it Red? I know it was DJ Red. I think the other guy was DJ Big Bink. Here's a shot, ground ball, second base. Karsten Vasquez fields it cleanly. Takes it across to Nick Kreutzer, 4-3 if you're scoring at home. You know, looks like the game plan is there for this pitcher Tony Horn and the Golden Lions.
Well, Horn has the best ERA on the team coming into this series. 4 appearances, 2 game starts, 3.65 ERA. So if you're going to get some quality innings and production, this is the young man that might be best suited for that.
What do you like about Tony Horn so far?
I like his I think by the fact that he's shown some aggressiveness, and I think he's settled in too. He had a tough outing in the last inning, especially on his first pitch, but he really has settled in. He's done a great job of keeping the ball down
and just a little too down right there, ball 4.
You know, as I start giving praise, you know,
it's been like that all weekend.
Yeah, but I will say the one thing, you know, Horn has had the opportunity to see this lineup.
That's right.
And because it's been the same lineup in the previous 2 days, so if you know, that's one of the advantages I think that he has, and hopefully he's been taking some good notes over the past 2 days to help him out.
Xavier Moore steps into the box. There's a strike. Xavier Moore with the single early on. RBI single. Jermaine Spears, the runner at first base.
Yeah, this middle part of the lineup has been on fire for Southern this weekend.
Spears takes the lead. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. Xavier Moore from Shreveport, Louisiana. A home state kid. I think he's a little closer to Grambling, though, huh? Here's the pitch. Spears takes off. Throw down. Safe. A stolen base there for Tremaine Spears. and puts himself in scoring position for Xavier Moore. So Xavier Moore to duck on the pond. A hit extends the lead.
First stolen base of the weekend for Spears. I think he's found a way to get in on every potential category that you can offensively.
Here's the pitch. And misses outside. Tony Horn. 6'4", 205.
It's a big pitch right here. 3-1 count. First base is open, but there's 2 outs. And this is that middle part of the lineup that's been trouble for UAPB this weekend.
There it is. Swung on. Fly ball left field. No.
Ooh-wee.
He almost had to put a Carlton Fisk wave on that to stay fair.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not enough wind. Unlike, the last couple of days, there's not enough wind blowing from left to right to keep that ball inbounds. But that was a good cut, though.
I got the word yesterday. Folks were listening to the broadcast while watching the game in the stands. Definitely want to appreciate everybody out there tuning in. Here's the pitch. Spears takes off. Fly ball center field. Davion White tries to get there. Actually, it's going to be McKyron Bentley making the play.
Great glove work in right field. Great glove work.
Great job by McKyron Bentley to come make that diving stab for the Golden Lions and saves a run. 2-0, the Jaguars lead. We'll take a break. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Aver's record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would.
Welcome back to Frisco, Texas, Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Jaguars 2, Golden Lions 0. Golden Lions trying to put some runs on the board this inning. Bottom of 3, Joseph Battaglia is still going strong for the Jags. Davion White leading things off here for the Golden Lions.
And what's interesting about that, the end of that last inning, we're watching White run. And I mean, we're seeing the ball, and we're thinking, okay, this is White's ball. And then all of a sudden, we see the right fielder reach out for it.
Here's the ground ball. Bubba Thompson making the play. 4-3 for scoring at home to lead things off here in the bottom half of the third.
And we've, look, I think that's the second diving catch that we've seen the outfield make for UAPB, and so they're getting some good play by those guys in the outfield. Both young men did not start the previous 2 games, so
Jar Parker steps into the box. Hometown kid, Plano, Texas. Right next door here in Frisco. I'm sure he's got the cheering section over behind the Golden Lion dugout. They may even have one of those sections over there, as I like to call the club section.
I noticed he changed his number from 1 to 7.
Okay.
You know.
And no pitch there as he called time. Umpire gave it to him. Jar Parker struck out to lead off the contest in his first at-bat. Here's a shot, center field. Isaiah Adams all over, can of corn. F to 8. Karsten Vasquez steps into the box as Joseph Bagtaglia goes to the lineup one time. This will be the second batter in the lineup. And it looks as though starts off Vasquez with the ball.
Vasquez drew a walk, had a triple and a double in yesterday's ball game.
And flied out to left field in his first at-bat today. Karsten Vasquez started off at third base Friday. Coach James moved him over to second base yesterday, and he's at second base again today. Here's the pitch. Misses inside.
And he moved up in the lineup, too. Started
That's
down
right.
at the bottom in the 8 spot, all the way up to 2 yesterday.
You know, and that's what you got to understand, you kids that are getting ready to play college ball. There are a lot of adjustments that are going to be made. A lot of decisions. As Torrey Hunter said yesterday, one of the things that he had to learn in baseball was how to accept failure. You know, you have certain, limitations, and you got to move up in the order, you move down in the order, you move to the outfield, you move to the infield. You do what's best for the team. Here's the pitch. Gets away from Brandon Green.
What is it? Statistically, it's a great piece of advice because, in most sports, when you bat or anytime you do anything in the 30%
right,
or less, 20 to 30% less, I mean, we're looking at you like, oh, what's wrong with you?
Absolutely.
But in baseball, look.
Karsten Vasquez draws a walk.
Yeah, in baseball, one of 3 is great, is good.
Oh, it's awesome.
So being in the 30%, it's a good thing. But that means what? The other 60-something%.
You fail it.
You fail.
Yeah.
So when that's what Torrey's talking about, or Kirby was telling him.
Kreutzer steps back into the box with a walk already.
And you notice when I figured what I didn't even have to know, but just knowing high school stats, when I threw out there what you were batting 500, he was
right,
yeah. That's what most the good high school batters
right.
are. They're in the 500, 600 range, man. Ridiculous numbers.
And he said he pitched too. He said he came out the bullpen in close games in high school. Defensive shift still on for the Jags here for Nick Kreutzer. Third baseman Xavier Moore moves over to the shortstop area. Judah Wilbur plays behind the bag at second base. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. If he's going to shift over to the right side, I like to see more pitches on the inside half.
Yeah, I don't think you want to put it on the outside. That just leaves Kreutzer with an opportunity to slap it towards left field and down that left field line.
The pitch. And misses outside again. And had he went with that, Kreutzer may have ended up on second base.
Well, who's going to make that judgment? I was going to say because.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right. And we've got to get away with that. There's I as an umpire, I'm not an umpire, but as a fan and as a coach, I can't allow the second base umpire to make that call in the future.
Right.
I've got to have an umpire at third base to make that call. There's a shot, deep drive. Right field over the fence into the lazy river. Home run, Nick Kreutzer.
There you go. It avoids an opportunity for somebody to go swimming. I thought that was going into the drink.
Nick Kreutzer puts one over the right field wall. Ties this contest at 2 here in the Lone Star Diamond Classic. In baseball, oftentimes, Brian, you're one pitch away. And sometimes you're one swing away. It'll bring up Humberto Maldonado.
Yeah, definitely the first mistake, really, that Battaglia has made in now 2 2/3.
Yeah, he was rolling there for a minute.
He was.
He was rolling. But new ball game here. Still early. There's a shot right back up the box. Makes the wide turn.
And I was curious to see how he would battle the next batter, because I think when you've had a game and you've been rolling and you give up a 2-run home run, tie game, what's the very next batter looking like? I mean, obviously with 2 outs, you're thinking, very next batter, let me go get him. Let me get this guy out. And then you give up a single up the middle. And I think they're sending some guys out there to the bullpen over there in the southern area.
Gotcha. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Braylon Hintz. Hintz, the sophomore from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, with a walk already. Hintz pinch hit last night in the contest. It's a swing. Ground ball, foul in front of the Southern Jaguar dugout. Who's going to go get it? And I think head coach Chris Crenshaw steps out and takes a little, a little walk to the ball. There's a shot. Right center field. Humberto Maldonado will reach third. No play there. Braylon Hintz, a stand-up single.
And Maldonado, paying attention to where that ball was hit, decided to turn second base and go full speed to third.
Absolutely.
And I don't think Southern really played that with the kind of veracity to make sure that Maldonado went to third, in my opinion. I would have liked to have seen Spears, attack that ball a little bit harder, just to prevent him. Because I don't think initially he was going, and then he kind of saw how Spears was coming at that ball, and then he just said, "Oh, let me turn on the Jets."
And actually, it looks as though their right fielder was playing back quite a bit as well. So like you say, there's some more communication that needs to be had between the infield and the outfield about how they want to cut the ball off and throw to the bases that they're supposed to throw to. Chris Crenshaw out to talk to his starter. This is what I need you to do, son. I need you to calm down, relax.
Yeah, that might have been the pitching coach, but it was needed. I mean, Battaglia just needed to kind of recollect himself, regain his poise, just concentrate on this one batter, get the out, let's get out of the inning. Because he's been pitching well, like I said, up until this point. Now he's hit a tough spot.
First and third here. And there's a balk that was called. But Brandon Green let the umpire know he called time. There's going to be some confusion here. So what was called first? Was the balk called before the timeout? So the timeout was called first, yeah. And I'm going to agree with that call there. James not happy, but I think Brandon Green, he stood up. He wanted to settle down his defense, first and third, make the call here defensively. And now we know what we're going to do. Well, we don't know, but they do. So runners at first and third here for the Golden Lions. Casey Higgins in the box. 2 outs here. Hintz with a little speed on first base. Pitch. Swung on.
Is that our way? Is it
Brandon Green trying to get to it, and I mean, Brandon almost took the netting down, man.
Yeah.
I guess the wind kind of kept it there. I mean, I was looking for that one. I thought I was going to get that one.
You know, it's possible. The wind is blowing just a bit towards actually in.
Right.
So it hung up there long enough. Like I said, that's why I thought it was coming to us.
I did too.
The way it hung, and it looked like kind of one of those 3D illusions. It's like, is it coming to us, or is it going to stay in that area?
3D illusion. Hence on first. Hence takes off. Swung on, ground ball. Third baseman Xavier Moore can't get to it. Third base, nobody home. Hence will advance to third. A run will score. Humberto Maldonado makes the score 3-2.
Great piece of hitting by Higgins. He saw Hence on the move, just reached out and slapped it to left, got by the third baseman. That's a great piece of hitting, which brings home a run.
An RBI single there for Casey Higgins. Golden Lions take the lead 3-2, and that'll bring up McKyron Bentley, who ended that last inning with the diving stab in right field.
And how about the base running by Hence? Again, paying attention that obviously the third baseman had, moved out of that position to even make a play. So it was like, hey, let me just turn on the jets and get there.
Nobody covering that bag.
Nobody.
First and third again. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Judah Wilbur takes it over to second base. And he's called out.
Some words here.
And he went spikes up.
Oh, yeah. Battaglia was not happy about the way that Higgins went into second base.
And umpires are going to clear the field. We'll clear it too. 3-2. Golden Lions take the lead. You're watching Black College Baseball here on the Black College Sports Network.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Aves' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. The whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Welcome back to the Lone Star Diamond Classic here in Frisco, Texas, Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford hanging out with you. Going to switch the reins over one time to the new play-by-play guy for the next 3 innings, Brian Fulford.
First pitch by Tony Horn. That one gets away from his catcher. And that last half inning, just in case you missed it, 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 left on base. Fouled off by Bubba Thompson there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, to end that last inning, Brian, we saw a ground ball to Judah as he went the short route over to second base. Bubba Thompson, and the runner, that was Casey Higgins, looks as though he slid past the bag. And tempers kind of flared up a little bit as a couple, the benches didn't clear, but, the kids were just ready to just kind of, be aware on call for whatever was going to happen.
Well, I'll be honest, it was the pitcher who fueled that because the infielders for Southern seemed to let it go.
Right.
But there's a slap towards the shortstop, Parker, and outrunning that is Thompson. That ball just never got over to Kreutzer with any kind of zip on it, or we'll just say Bubba Thompson outran it. Single for Bubba Thompson there.
Yeah, great job there by Thompson to kind of put it in play. Jaguars needed something to lead off this inning just to kind of get some, get something going. And the one thing you want to do is just put the ball in play with a team like Pine Bluff. And good things will happen when you put the ball in play.
What was impressive about that inning here is Brandon Green comes to the plate. Horn goes back over to first. I think that's the first time this weekend that Arkansas Pine Bluff has actually taken a lead. They've trailed. I mean, they've had a lead. Obviously, they started with the lead. But when Southern has gotten up, Arkansas Pine Bluff has not had an opportunity to really get back into the game. Green thought about taking the bunt there. He showed it.
And we saw Chris Crenshaw play some small ball this weekend. I like the bunt attempt there, or at least the attempt of a small ball action right here. Let's see how Coach Crenshaw wants to play this. Good speed over there with Bubba Thompson at first. I'd probably like to see something in motion here. Brandon Green putting the bunt down to the right side.
Horn with the pitch. Green again showing, I believe that was called strike one.
So talked to you guys earlier, Brandon Green, Chicago, Illinois, was a part of that Jackie Robinson Little League team back in 2014, I think it was, who competed in Williamsport.
That wasn't that long ago, but it was that long ago.
It was that long, yeah. I mean, it was a big deal. It was definitely a big deal. He even wrote a book that we have right here, called Champs. We'll post a picture on the website or something on a Twitter feed, but Brandon Green doing some things to kind of, talk about that experience.
Bunt attempt up the first baseline, foul. C is for champions. That's what, just go do a Amazon search. I got to believe that's out there on Amazon. C is for champions. It's a great illustration, positive, motivating book for young people, especially elementary age.
Mm-hmm.
And it has images of young boys that look like us, Nick.
Absolutely.
Which is,
absolutely,
very encouraging. I want to definitely make sure to tweet that out and share that with the community. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back over to first goes Horn. Just want to make sure Thompson doesn't get too comfortable.
Yeah, Tony Horn has to keep Bubba Thompson honest over there at first base with all the speed. Now with 2 strikes, I'm not gonna believe that Brandon Green is gonna be bunting here. But I think Tony Horn is trying to prevent the hit and run attempt.
To the plate. Good cut. Fouled off.
Great job by Brandon Green, just trying to stay in there and, compete with 2 strikes. When that 2-strike approach, comes into the box with you, you kind of have it's kind of like you're making your adjustment, and you see that outside pitch, you just kind of want to stay alive, and that's what he did right there.
2-2 pitch by Horn. Green takes that one. Ball 3. Full count.
I like that spot right there by Tony Horn to put that in right there on the outside half. Brandon Green, seeing that same pitch twice. He didn't swing at that one. He swung at the one right before.
Horn continues to check first base. What's interesting, we haven't seen Thompson steal a base. I mean, he's been on a few times, so this is clearly 3-2 pitch, but he's gone. Oh, that's a strike, and caught him. So a beautiful strike and caught stealing. Nice throw by the catcher, Jackson Rico.
The old strike him out, throw him out. Great job there by catcher Jackson Rico. Throwing down on a hop, and, even better stab there by Jar Parker.
4th strikeout of the ball game by Mr. Horn. First pitch strike. Jalee Hendricks at the plate now, freshman from Philadelphia, PA.
Now, I don't remember any ball players coming in from Philly to play baseball, but if you remember, we're talking about Little League World Series. We talked about the Jackie Robinson team. Now, I don't remember the team that Monet Davis was on, who's a current softball player at Hampton University. That team was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Scoreboard shows 2-0, but I thought that first pitch was called strike. Foul ball up the first base line. Look for the official here from the umpire behind the plate. Let's see what he says.
You know, I think Monet Davis could play baseball in the SWAC. I would have liked to see her, you know. I mean, I know she's playing a softball, doing her thing, and could drop 25 points on you on the basketball floor as well. You know, but I'm glad to see her, you know, playing softball at Hampton University.
Slaps that over to the shortstop. Over to first. And Parker to Kreutzer. 6-3. And retiring the side. UAPB gets out of it. 1-2-3. So no runs. None left on base. Just one hit. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside.
Coming back into the bottom of the fourth inning here, Arkansas Pine Bluff with a 3-2 lead over Southern. A new pitcher on the mound for the Jaguars. He is Michael Page, a junior from Columbus, Georgia. And Page has made 4 appearances in the course of this season. Only pitched 7 full innings. Has given up 8 hits, 12 runs, 12 earned, all of them earned in his appearances.
All the way from Columbus, Georgia. Site of the perfect game. Lake Point, what's it called? The new Lake Point, Georgia. That's where the new perfect game complex is. A lot of baseball players found there.
Jackson Rico at the plate for UAPB, swinging first strike. And we closed the book on Joseph Battaglia, went 3 full innings, 3 runs. All of them were earned. Only gave up 4 hits. Second pitch called strike. And really that third inning is what did him Battaglia, who I thought was pitching a good game until that third inning fell apart for him.
And I like how Page right here is trying to touch the corners, trying to Rembrandt his way through this at-bat. Great job on the fireballer.
1-2 pitch by Page. Yeah, he took his time on that one. Rico does a good job of calling time. The 1-2 pitch. Foul ball.
Renkow staying poised at the plate, throwing those hands with his 2-strike approach.
The 1-2. Another foul ball. Rico staying alive.
You know, as we see all these pitchers step out here on the rubber, I mean, from both sides of the clubs, of the dugouts, I mean, there are a lot of arms out there.
The pitch by Page, down and away. Looks like we have a full count. 3-2 pitch by Page. Outside part of the corner. Now it's a full count, so my stats were correct.
And you got to wonder with all this pitching, Brian, I mean, due to the COVID-19 pandemic last year, you know, the roster's expanding, you know, going from 35 to 37, 38, almost 40 kids on some of these rosters.
That time he gave it to him, called strike 3. Yeah, I wonder if their roster, well, what'll really be interesting is going into next year. You know, and, unfortunately, a lot of these young players, these are the ones who were the first affected athletes of the COVID shutdown of 2020. And so now, of course, even more challenges ahead. Davion Moore is at the plate. He fouls one off just past us to the right.
Everybody's got a foul ball except us. I mean, you're getting foul balls in the stands. You're getting home run balls across the fence. And we can't get a foul ball straight back to us. Now, guess what? Tomorrow, next week's contest is going to be here. They're probably going to have 5 or 6, foul balls in this booth, man. Come on, give me one.
1-1. Slap towards second base. Thompson scoops it cleanly over to Porter. 4-3. Second out of the inning for Page.
Bubba Thompson putting on a ground ball exhibition over there at second base this weekend.
Now, Nick, you may have said it earlier, but I'm going to play dumb like I don't recall.
Okay.
What position did you play at Texas Southern?
At Texas Southern, okay.
Right.
One position at Texas Southern.
Okay.
And now
okay, well, hold on. Ooh, a little high.
I pitched at Texas Southern, pitched at TSU.
Okay.
I started some games. I closed some games.
Okay, but before that, you let me
everywhere. You put me anywhere on the field, and I played it. I played everywhere. When I asked you just about the pickup game, you put me a catcher, you put me in the outfield, you put me at third. Okay, I was too short to play first, but I did try to play first a couple of times, though. Right? But no, my main positions were in the infield, second and short. Those are my 2 power spots. More so second. So Bubba Thompson, he kind of looks a little like me.
Okay.
Just a tad bit. He's wearing a Southern jersey. I can't say he was better than me right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Page trying to paint that outside corner. 2-2 count now.
It's nothing like putting a Texas in front of something that says Southern, as we say.
I feel a dig there.
Southern's had some good baseball, man. They'll beat you, and then they'll feed you that good old crawfish, some of those good old shrimps down there in Baton Rouge. When we took that trip to Southern, you knew you were going to eat good that weekend.
Swinging strike 3 and second strikeout of the inning. And Southern gets out of it. 3 up, 3 down, 1-2-3 in that inning. We move to the top of the 5th inning. UAPB leading 3-2. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Athens' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. Whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are
going into the top of the fifth inning here. Brian Fulford and Nick Strong here, the third game of this three-game series here in Frisco, Texas at Dr. Pepper Ballpark. At the plate for Southern, top of the lineup, Isaiah Adams, the center fielder. And still on the mound for UAPB, Tony Horn.
You can't keep this man, Isaiah Adams, off the base paths today. 2 singles so far. He's had some great ABs, had some great defensive stops out there in the outfield.
There's a shot towards left field, and another diving catch by Casey Higgins. I believe that is the second time Casey has picked up a little grass on the jersey.
Great stop out there by Casey Higgins. You know, he kind of read it the right way. And, you know, we talked about yesterday sometimes it's a first step back, but also sometimes you got to attack the ball in something like that. Really hard hit, and he was able to get down there and make a diving stab for it and save his team, you know, and save maybe even some stolen bases, you know, some base attempts, because Isaiah Adams gets on base and he usually scores.
Exactly. Well, we've talked about this and we've seen this. For UAPB to get a win, one, it was going to be the pitching. The pitching was going to have to be solid. They're getting a good performance right now from Tony Horn. And then the fielding, especially in the outfield, was going to need to be better. It has been thus far. The 0-1 pitch, high, all one.
Yeah, and to go along with that, a couple of times this weekend, Pine Bluff's outfield has kind of let them down.
The 1-1, off speed, called strike. Just a bit inside, tight on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Judah Wilbur. Shortstop. He thought about it.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Struck him out, and that's 2 down.
I mean, even Tony Horn looks as though he couldn't believe it. I mean, he got Judah Wilbur, you know, in the cookie jar, trying to take that pitch to right field.
One thing I will say, Nick, if you notice that at bat, Tony Horn's pace between pitches was a lot faster than what we've seen to date.
And that's what you do when you're a pitcher who's finally in the groove. You know, you find your rhythm. And that's one thing that Judah Wilbur didn't take away from Tony Horn. I would have liked to see even Judah Wilbur maybe call time a couple of those times at those at-bats, you know, throw his rhythm off. But Tony Horn was comfortable on the mound in that appearance.
Slap towards the middle. That one's got some eyes, and it does. It gets by the second baseman, Vasquez, and there's a single by Burgo, and that's his first hit of the afternoon. Well, this is the third time he's seen these guys, and I credit Horn or the coaching staff, whoever brought it to his attention, that, hey, change your pace up a little bit.
Right.
And I think that may have played into what we saw, which was the strikeout and the flyout. Well, now Horn's got a runner on first at the plate, Taj Porter.
You know, and sometimes there are some pitchers out there who just like to work quick. You know, I like to watch Justin Verlander. You know, I'm in Houston. I like to watch him a lot. He likes to work quick. Get that ball back, put that ball right back down the middle, outside, inside, wherever he needs to put it. And, you know, you just kind of stay in that rhythm. You know, you kind of stay in that rhythm.
1 ball and 1 strike for Porter. He's got a runner on first base. Southern does. Slap towards first base. Kreutzer says, I got it. And that's how UAPB and Horn gets out of it. So 1 hit, no runs given up, 1 runner left on base for Southern. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. UAPB leading 3-2. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in 1 cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
Since 2000.
Coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning for Arkansas Pine Bluff, it's going to start with Karsten Vasquez, followed up by Nick Kreutzer and Humberto Maldonado, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. On the mound still for Southern, Michael Page making his 2nd inning start. Vasquez walked in his last at-bat, came around on a run. He was actually the first batter that got that 3-run 3rd inning going. First pitch, slap towards center field. That's going to be a single. Great start for Vasquez.
And good piece of hitting right there by Karsten Vasquez. You talked about it. Michael Page actually having a good last inning, 2 strikeouts and a ground ball. He's off to a good start throwing strikes. Coach James picks that up. He says, Vasquez, make sure you know that this pitcher throws strikes. And he looked fastball. He looked dead red. And great job for Vasquez to put that right back up the middle.
Nick Kreutzer with a 2-run shot towards the lazy river in his last plate appearance.
Did anybody ever go get that ball?
Well, fortunately, it didn't go to the. It didn't go in the water, so I didn't pay attention whether somebody did or not. I don't even know if you can get access. There might be a little gate keeping some kids from getting over there. 1-0 count for Page to the plate. There's another shot to right. That might be in the river, over the wall. God, it does hit the drink. There you go, Nick Kreutzer. Splash time with another 2-run shot as UAPB takes a 5-2 lead.
Great splash shot there by Nick Kreutzer. As you've seen the water splashing in the lazy river. Great job there by Kreutzer. He's sitting fastball again. You know, Battaglia came out the game. Page comes in. He starts to throw strikes. Kreutzer picks that up. 2 home runs off 2 different pitchers. Nick Kreutzer, 2 for 2 on the day. Great job, Nick Kreutzer.
Looking at the kids out there trying to figure out, how do I get up over that wall? I just want to make sure the kids don't jump in that water. But, man, that was a shot. That time it went in the drink. 5-2 lead for UAPB. Humberto Maldonado called strike one on the first pitch.
Nick Kreutzer gives us the splash. Did you see it when it splashed? I mean, it was kind of cool, right?
Oh yeah. Like I said, that's what he just he overshot it in the first home run. That's gonna go foul ball. Kids on the move.
Free snow cones today here. Dr. Pepper ball, free Dr. Pepper maybe. Retrieving all the foul balls.
That's one of the best parts about minor league baseball. All the fun little promotions that you see done. The 0-2 pitch, high and inside.
I've called a couple of minor league games in my day, man. I went out to Quad Cities a couple of years ago, a affiliate of the Houston Astros. It was a really cool atmosphere out there. It's one of the best ballparks in the nation as well. Houston, we have Sugarland, which was independent league. Now the Astros have taken over that organization, and they're the AAA affiliate. A really nice atmosphere there. And, up here in Frisco, this is a good one. I've been around to some more in California, Florida, moving around. So, minor league baseball, man, it's always a good atmosphere, especially for the kids. I think it's mainly for the kids.
2-2 pitch by Page. Swinging strike by Maldonado. And coming to the plate will be Braylon Hintz, the DH, comes to the plate. First pitch, strike by Page. The 0-1, slap right up the middle, scooped up by the shortstop, Parker, and he gets that one over to, check that, Wilbur. He gets that over to Porter, 6-3.
And good job by Judah Wilbur there, just moving to his left-hand side, looking like Francisco Lindor out there at shortstop. And also Trevor Story, one of those guys. I mean, he just kind of picked it up real smoothly, went from left to right, half the fundamentals that you need to play that position, and the arm to get over there accurately. Great job there by Judah Wilbur.
Excellent job, because that one looked like it might get by. Now at the plate, Casey Higgins, the left fielder. Michael Page looking to get out of this inning, having only given up the two-run home run shot by Nick Kreutzer. 2 balls, no strikes to Higgins right now. Nice pitch for strike one.
And I like Michael Page. I don't think he's, one mistake, puts a home run over the fence. But he's been throwing the ball really good, hitting the spots, throwing pretty hard. He's got some adrenaline pumping out there,
Good cut by Higgins, but he missed it. 2-2 pitch. Just outside, and we get a full count. Green tried to set him up. Here we go, full count. 2 outs. Swinging, strike 3, and that is how this inning will come to the end. But Arkansas Pine Bluff does score 2 runs on 2 hits, no runners left on base. And we're going to stay here as we finish up the end of the 5th inning with Arkansas Pine Bluff leading 5-2 over Southern. Special guest joining us right now, Mr. Calvin Whitaker from Kubota Tractor Corporation. Pleasure, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Extremely excited about participating in this event as a corporate sponsor here in Frisco, Texas. Love the HBCU experience, and just glad to be here. So, Kubota, we are headquartered here in Grapevine, Texas, And we are, of course, a tractor company. We build utility equipment, farm equipment. KTC has been around a little bit over 50 years now, but we are a global brand. For Earth for Life is our motto, and that's what we stick with. I just really want to thank Prentice Hill for putting this event together. I'd like to thank my boss, Yvonne Arizari, who's here, our HR director, for really partnering with Prentice and the Frisco Riff Riders and making this happen. Myself, I'm not an HBCU graduate. I'm a PWI graduate, but I understand the HBCU experience. I've been deadly encultured, ingrained into it as an Atlanta native, live right in the middle of the AUC, so I understand what goes on and the importance of that. So definitely excited to be here. For more information about Kubota, you can reach us at KubotaUSA.com. For more information about our products, our services, we definitely are hiring. Anybody looking for a job opportunity? We have an extraordinary internship program that I personally oversee.
Okay.
So if you have a son or daughter that's interested in agriculture or marketing or HR like myself or IT, come by, check us by our booth here. We're in Suite 209. Come learn more about us.
Tremaine Spears at the plate, as Tony Horn is still on the mound for Arkansas Pine Bluff. So what type of internship opportunities in terms of what areas or what levels of the corporation or the business would a young person interested, and I don't know if it's an age limit or graduates, high school, upper level. Tell us more about the internship program.
Our internship program is a 12-week program. We primarily look for rising sophomores and juniors. We also are interested in also taking current graduate students. I oversee the internship program. Our HR intern 2 years ago was a graduate student at a local college here. At the corporate office, we have numerous departments: IT, finance, HR, engineering as well. And so an internship at this facility is well-grounded. Each intern is tasked with a capstone project. They're assigned a mentor, so they're just not getting coffee and donuts. They're getting a real assignment, and that will be impacted in the business. And so at the end of this 12-week assignment, they give a presentation to our president and our vice president and other heavy officials within the company, directors, relating to what they learned. And so it's value added. And we see this internship program as a pipeline to the future. And so what we want to do now as a corporate sponsor, we're going to be visiting these HBCUs at their career fairs, in person and virtually, and telling them about our company and hopefully looking to hire them. So we're proud to sponsor with Prentice, BCS 360, the Frisco Rough Riders, as well as Kubota being a partner as well to get these students hired. We support PWIs as well, but we support HBCUs as well. So we're hoping in events like this can serve as a great platform to start that conversation, and we're just really excited to be here.
Xavier Moore at the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike right now. And you mentioned being in the AU. You're from the Atlanta area?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Originally from the Atlanta area. I lived in the middle of the Atlanta University Center for 4 years between Clark, Spellhouse, Morris Brown, all that stuff. Went to Georgia Tech and transferred to Kennesaw State. So 3 of my line brothers, I'm an alpha. We're dual degree from Morehouse, so they ingrained me in that culture. Sure. And so I've always loved it and supported it. And being an Atlanta native, I get it. Yes. And it's very important to have that dynamic. And so I consider myself an honorary HBCU swag member. If you guys will gladly accept me. But I just it's very important for us to level the playing field of HBCUs. You see what's going on in the NBA, what they've done, and Major League Baseball is about to do something. So we wanted Kubota to understand what's going on in the current environment and take part in it.
Yeah, one of the things that I like, I'm a baseball guy through and through, and, we often tell our kids, it's more than just actually getting on the field to play the game, once you graduate high school or college or whatever it is. But there are other opportunities you can do behind the scenes in MLB baseball or just be a part of baseball itself. I mean, tractors, we need, you need grounds crew, you need things of that nature.
Yes, sir.
How does a kid just kind of, how did you get into this with what you're doing now?
You know what, man? It was I'm a man of faith, like Prentice, and it was really God sent. Coming out of college, I worked in manufacturing. I was in operations and as a supervisor, so I've always dealt with people and interaction and developing them. And some personal things happened in my life, and I said I needed to make a career change, and I took a blind faith and got into HR. Worked in HR for about 2-3 years in manufacturing and operations, and then got blessed with an opportunity with Kubota at a corporate level setting. So I really had to rethink my philosophy as far as how I communicated, how I carried myself. And luckily, I have a great boss, my boss Yvonne, and her boss as well. They've mentored me in being a better professional, and crafted me in a lot of ways that I never would have thought. And so it's been a great opportunity working in the ag field, which is a field we don't really heavy get into. But there are black farmers. There are people who work in agriculture,
we don't
engineering.
hear talked about.
Yeah, we don't get talked about. We're there.
Sure.
We don't get talked about. And so when I went to them, I said, hey, we really need to get in this event and sponsor it, because Kubota has an opportunity in that regard. And so they supported me, and that's why we're here, and we're going to be back.
First baseball game this year?
You know what? Yes, it is. But it won't be my last.
Well, it won't be your last. Well, first baseball, you were here Friday, Saturday, or you?
Yeah, I've been here the whole weekend.
Gotcha.
Been here the whole weekend. I'm actually going to a game on Monday.
Oh, wow.
We have a relationship with the Texas Rangers. We have a suite there as well, so we'll be over there supporting them their first exhibition game.
Right.
Yeah.
You got extra tickets?
Got a couple.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, talk to me after this interview.
We definitely love the game, man. We definitely love the game.
Yeah.
What are you liking about baseball? I mean, and this is a different type of experience here.
Sure.
This is the HBCU experience, music, you know, tailgating.
Right.
You know, I mean, the circus, but that's not us. I mean,
No.
but it's still bringing people to the neighborhood and area to watch our brand.
Yeah.
What are you liking about this HBCU experience of baseball?
Really, man, I'm liking that we did it now.
Okay.
We're coming out of a very situational environment, you know, coming out of COVID-19, everything that happened in the last year. So I'm glad that baseball is being the forefront of it, and it's black HBCU baseball. And I think what Prentice is doing with BCS 360 and getting people involved now is making a strong statement that, hey, in the middle of adversity, you know what, baseball is going to be at the forefront of getting people out and enjoying America's favorite pastime, and doing it in a way that, you know, we're helping kids get through school. Right, we all need some help. Everybody needs some help, and I think this is what's turning me on about this game. And I think as the country starts to open up, we really can be at the forefront of changing what people think about baseball. Period. You know, and so I'm really excited about how we can change the culture and the atmosphere of the game.
Did you see that home run that went into the lazy river?
I missed it.
You missed it?
Okay. It went over the lazy river?
It went in the
river? Oh, man, that's monumental right there.
You saw the one that went over, but the one you just missed, it actually went in the lazy river.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
What position do you think you would play if you were on the baseball field? What position would you play?
It would definitely be somewhere in the outfield.
Why? I mean, I look at you as more of a second baseman type guy.
Really? Nah, man. I'm
You're in the outfield, so you can
I'd be in right, like
you
deep
can track
right.
it down.
Yeah, I'd be in deep right, like I wasn't even on the team or something like that.
Now, where are you batting in the batting order? Where do you see yourself? Are you one of the speedy guys, or can you hit it in the lake? Could you hit it in the lazy river if you learn how to play the game really good?
Yeah, I'd be a pinch runner. That's about it.
Okay, all right.
No, that probably would be my best bet.
Cal, we need you. Come in.
Right. Come on.
Running for the catcher.
That's it. Come on in here. Yeah. That
what would be your jersey number?
You know what? It'd probably be 7. That's my favorite number.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
we're gonna sign you up, man, for the softball league coming up.
Hey, let's do it.
We're doing an HBCU softball league, and we need honorary members. Man.
Hey, put me down. Put me down.
We'll have a courtesy runner spot for you.
All right, do that. Yeah, give my jersey, my number on that. I'll be good, bro. I'll be ready to get going. So,
Brandon Green at the plate, facing a 1-2 count with a runner on second. Tony Horn outside, 2 for 2. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
yes, sir.
Calvin, Texas Rangers are playing a new ballpark.
Yes, sir.
This year, obviously, actually, it opened up last year, but obviously due to COVID,
yes, sir.
Not very many fans got a chance to see it.
Yeah.
So this year, is Texas? Are they planning to open up full?
Texas. As you know, Texas, we're open.
We're all the way open.
Yeah. Texas is open, and the Texas Rangers announced that they will be operating at 100% full capacity.
And they played the World Series there last year.
Yeah. Some of our dealers and high VPs and directors actually went to some of those games.
Okay.
But yeah, they will be fully open next week, and full speed ahead. We have a suite there. We're actually going to an exhibition game there on Monday, so that'll be my first time actually in this new facility. Actually looking forward to it. So we're pretty excited about it. Some of our equipment will be, out there on the field getting showcased. We hope to be showcased here in Frisco.
Yeah.
Frisco Rough Riders, and so great things are
Yeah,
coming.
I saw some of the equipment downstairs you guys got. Yeah.
Yeah, so please come by, take a look at it, pick up some brochures.
Are you guys doing test driving? I mean, can we test drive any equipment?
No, can't test drive any equipment, but, you can take a picture in front of it, and pick up a brochure, and give it to somebody who wants to buy some stuff.
Settling in under that was McKyron Bentley, and that's how UAPB will come out of the inning with no hits, but they did leave a runner on base. No runs for Southern. And we're going to get ready to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. UAPB leading 5-2. Yeah, you were mentioning about test driving. For whatever reason, I was one of those kids. I learned how to, you cut grass. Parents taught you how to make you cut grass and stuff. I never was on a riding mower. Always wanted to, and quietly, I always visualized the comfort, peace, and calm of being able to cut a baseball field.
Wow!
I'm weird like that, where I've always enjoyed the patterns and the cutting of a field.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. So I have allergies, so that's the only probably the
Okay.
only thing that keeps me away from cutting grass But I always visualize one of my 2 retirement plans is just give me a tractor, give me a field to cut, and I'm just cutting. That's it. Maybe somebody's baseball field. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got all those products on KubotaUSA.com, so you guys go out there and check it out. But yeah, I actually got in one of the RTVs Friday, just moving some of our stuff in here, and that was pretty exciting myself. But I wouldn't trust myself on anything else. But yeah, shouts out to all of our engineering team, Chris Edwards, who's helping us here today. He brought everything in. Our engineering manager is on site as well.
Nice.
So please come by, take a look at some of the equipment. We've got a bunch of equipment brochures down there. Please grab as many of them as possible. We've got our internship information brochures. They can students that are here, their parents can email us directly if they have a resume, if they got a student that are interested in learning more about Kubota. I have my business cards here, so we're looking to engage and tell people about our company. So.
And give us the web address, any social media, and even if you want to share yours. I mean, it's a great time to do it.
Yeah, KubotaUSA.com. Kubota Tractor Corporation on Instagram or Facebook. Shout out to John Lee, our advertising director. He's done a great job just really kind of elevating our advertising. I want to thank our marketing department, engineering, HR, of course, everybody that's been here this week that's really made this event very, very, very successful. And I'm just glad to be here. But yeah, I'm out there on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Calvin Whitaker. I manage the Dallas Greek Picnic here in Dallas. I'm an alpha. You can find me at DFW Greek Picnic. I do a lot of good things, but just glad to be here to support Kubota, HBCUs, and the HBCU experience. So thank you, gentlemen, for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again. Calvin Whitaker from Kubota. Thank you to Kubota for being a sponsor of this Lone Star Diamond Classic, and I'm sure we will see you and Kubota in other events down the road.
Yes, sir. Coming soon. We'll be glad to be here. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Number 7, he said he's going to wear. And he's going to be your courtesy runner.
I would need a courtesy runner.
When you hit the single, we're going to put Cal in for you to run bases.
I'm glad you recognize that. I need a courtesy runner, Nick. That is perfect. You're on point. I needed that.
Absolutely, man.
At the plate is McKyron Bentley. There's a shot towards left. That's going to go foul, though, towards DJ Red. Watch out. All right, don't mess up the tunes now.
Not DJ Red and Big Bink.
No. You don't want to hit the you say don't bump the turntable. see if you folks out there know what movie that's from.
Trivia question. Put it on the Twitter.
Yeah. See, find out what kind of old school folks we got out there.
What kind of was that your HBCU movie? When you were no, I'm just saying, people that's out there watching. And HBCUs, let us know if you watched that in the dorms or in the students' union or on the yard or wherever you may have hung out at. That wasn't mine. I remember it though.
You had to go to the movie theater and enjoy it amongst a crowd of your people to really appreciate that movie. That's all I'm going to say. It's one of those movies that you just have to be around a crowd of folks, like-minded folks, to appreciate that movie. You'd be okay with missing a line or two because the music was so good. Jackson Rico at the plate with a runner on first.
You know, with the lead right here, Carlos James, 5-2 Golden Lions. I like to see, you know, a lot more action. Put in a little bit more pressure on the Jaguars here with that runner at first base, McKyron Bentley. I know he has some speed over there. I'd like to see him take off here.
The 2-0 pitch, and it's now 3-0.
And he'll probably stay put, being it's 3-0. We'll take his chances. There was a walk, so I'm sure Jackson Rico will take his chances and look at possibly a ball 4 here.
3-run lead for the Golden Lions. And he takes that one, called strike, that one. So it's now 3-1.
You know, the umpires have been giving up a delayed strike call this weekend.
They have.
I mean, I think Judah Wilbur got all the way down to first base before yesterday.
Runners going.
There's
swinging,
the runner.
Sliding into second. Out.
And failed hit and run attempt there for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. McKyron Bentley took off, but Jackson Rincao just couldn't put it in play.
Nice throw by Grandin Green. Now, is that one of those situations where you'd like your hitter to protect the runner?
Yes. I like for, and that's what I was saying. I would have liked to see, well, he did take off, but, you know, with a hit and run, I would have liked to see Jackson Rincao at least put it in play some way, somehow. You know, you don't want to get upset at Jackson Rincao. I mean, he swung, he did his job. He just missed it, you know.
Full count. That time he's caught. Let me see this. Is that a foul?
And it actually hit the umpire.
Hit the umpires. He had to take a second there. It was a foul ball.
So the catcher will go out and walk the ball to the mound. We'll give the umpire a chance to rest. Trainer will probably come out. No, he says no trainer. He reminds me of he reminds me of. Oh no, here's the trainer. He's coming out here. That's the Southern's trainer. I think he said no trainer at first, but you know that kind of reminds me of the athlete who kind of breaks his whole ankle and leg, and he says, "No, I'm good. I want to play. No good." They come out. Umpire says no. Trainer says no. We're gonna check you out.
Well, I think the first sign was when you saw his co-umpires there on first and third come down the line to check on him. And somebody from Southern's bringing out
cup of water
or something.
I think that Isley brother is kind of trying to get him infused a little bit.
Yeah. Nothing like a nice solid drink of water after you've been fouled off. Yeah, that padding only covers so much, though, you know.
I've been back there behind that plate before, man.
God bless you.
I actually like to umpire. I really would like to see umpires behind the mound. I just feel as though the ball, you can see everything behind the mound. I mean, there's already an umpire in front of second base sometimes. I don't see why we just can't have somebody out there. But I'm not a guy who makes the rules, and I didn't make up baseball, so I'm just going to let him have it behind the plate.
3-2 count for Rico. And foul ball coming our way, over our head.
Baby.
A beautiful day here in Frisco, Texas at Dr. Pepper Ballpark, home of the Frisco Rough Riders. Michael Page, 3-2 count, 1 out. Outside part of the plate, no sir. And Rico worked that at bat. Second walk in the inning.
Michael Page just missing there on the outside half. I mean, I thought he put up a good pitch right there on the outside corner. Umpire didn't give it to him.
Davion White comes to the plate with a runner on first. Outside ball 1 for Page.
You know, Page is doing what he's supposed to do. Slowing it up. We talked about that yesterday with Torrey Hunter. You know, you kind of go hard outside when you're a relief pitcher. You're trying to, you know, keep the rhythm going.
Inside, here we go, Nick. Coming our way. Oh, nope.
Now, there's no windscreen. There's no netting on top of the It's an open net here. There are some schools now that are doing the closed netting above you as well. So when it falls on the net, behind home plate more so. This has an open netting area.
I'm not down there, but I would imagine any kind of pop ball in the air, I think, folks can kind of size up, line up, and catch versus something that's being shot off the bat coming down the line at you. Pass ball, and Ricow is going to head over to second base.
Yeah, Brandon Green having a little trouble back there. Maybe some signs are crossing up. Page has been out the zone, but he hasn't been outside of the zone too far. So the ball's getting past Page, or the ball's getting past, Brandon Green. There may be some communication issues with the pitch calling right there. So we'll kind of keep that in mind as Page gets to going a little bit further. There is action. Well, there's not action, but there's a pitcher about to start stretching inside the bullpen. Let's see how Coach Chris Crenshaw wants to play his relief pitcher role here.
2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on second, 1 out. Page to the plate. Outside part called strike 2. Beautiful placement there by Page. Two balls, 2 strikes now for Davion White. The pitch.
And good stop there by Brandon Green. Again, we talked about the signs possibly being a confusion. He was able to get down and block that as the ball was in the dirt. And we see the runner at second base, Jackson Rinkow, not getting too much of a secondary lead. He's going to have to get a little bit more. He's going to need to take some bases in case this ball gets past the catcher again.
Full count for Davion White. The pitch. Slapped, foul ball. And this is another at-bat going deep into the count for UAPB.
Yeah, Davion White doing a good job of just trying to stay alive, throwing his hands at everything that he sees out there.
Full count again for White. Page to the plate. Staying alive again, another foul ball. Arkansas Pine Bluff leading 5-2 here. Looking to avoid the sweep and put it into an 8-game losing streak to Southern, dating back to 2018.
Mm-hmm. They'll play 6 times this year. I don't know if they got a chance to mix up, but they've played 3-game sets now. 1 home, 1 away.
Page to the plate. Low and away. Ball 4. So that is 3 consecutive walked by Michael Page. And so with runners on first and second, Jar Parker comes to the mound, or to the plate. He struck out his last appearance also in the first, so 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, Jar Parker's going to have to get it together here. Ducks on the pond. He's got runners at first and second. Only 1 out.
And we got a pitching change. Looks like it's going to be the left-hander coming up. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with that pitcher and this pitching change. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and Instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit HBCUPrideJoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Aves' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. Whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
New pitcher on the mound for Southern. It is Christian Paul. Paul, a left-handed redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Hometown kid.
Parker, with that bunt attempt, goes down the third base line.
So Parker going with it would still be considered a sack, but he went with the drag attempt. He didn't really show it. He tried to bunt for a hit. I mean, which is also a good idea with the speed that Parker has, trying to get bases loaded there for Carson Vasquez and Nick Kreutzer. So Carlos James trying to extend the pressure because his 2-hole and his 3-hole hitters are coming up, and that's where his power is going to lie at.
Paul with an 0-1 pitch. Runners on first and second for UAPB. Slap to the third baseman. Double play opportunity. Second, first, safe. And so more to Thompson, but I don't know if we're just going to say possibly Parker beat out that throw.
He definitely beat out the throw. Great job there by Parker to, run as hard as he could through that line. You want to keep running no matter if the double play is intact. Great job by third baseman Xavier Moore. He stayed back after the bunt. After Parker showed bunt, he didn't attempt to come in on the grass. He stayed in his same spot. Parker puts it right in his glove, and he did a great job throwing it over to Bubba Thompson, at least getting one out. Great job by Xavier Moore right there. But did you see the stretch there by Josh Parker? My goodness.
Jackson Rico advanced to third. White out at second. And Parker is on first. Carson Vasquez. And that's going to be fouled off left field line into the stands.
It was right almost by the DJ booth, man. Not Taj Parker, but Xavier Moore was trying to get over to the DJ and request a song over there.
Stop playing with my DJ now. Stop playing. Stop playing. Get a little too close with those balls. 0-2 count for Vasquez. And ball one. Vasquez scored a run in his last at bat. Also scored a run in the third inning as well. Takes that one inside. Evens the count up at 2. UAPB in a unique situation to really open this game up. Currently with a 5-2 lead over Southern.
And deuces are wild here, Brian.
Yes, sir. Away and called. Strike 3. And Christian Paul gets Southern out of the inning. No runs, no hits, but 2 runners were left on base for Southern. We'll go to the 7th. I'm going to hand it back over to Nick Strong when we come out of this break. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic on the Black College Sports Network.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Since 2000.
Welcome back to Black College Baseball here on the Black College Sports Network. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford. Southern Jaguars and the Golden Lions doing business here in Frisco, Texas. Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Jaguars trail 5-2.
Nick, we were just talking about the break, coming out of the break there. We were just talking about the good old 7th inning stretch will be coming up pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
We missed it. We missed the festivities because we had Torrey Hunter with us in the box, in the booth up here.
Yep.
So we'll see what kind of festivities we have a little bit later.
Maybe we can sing the 7th inning stretch from the broadcast booth like Harry Carey used to do.
Look, we were working on some versions.
Maybe, can we work on that? Maybe at the next, wherever we're at. I want to make sure that we lean out the window like Harry Carey. A 1.
Come on,
a
crowd.
2.
Everybody up. Everybody up. That, hey.
I used to love, I was a Sox fan growing up in Chicago, but it was nice. And there's the ground ball. Jar Parker takes it across. 6-3 for scoring at home for Jalee Hendricks. There was a time where, I love my White Sox, but when you got home from school at 2:30, 3 o'clock, the Cubs were always on. Just like the Braves were national, the Cubs were national, and the Mets were national, so.
How did that shape the environment in Chicago? That was a tremendous advantage that the Cubs had back in that period of time.
Well, I'm a White Sox guy through and through. The Cubs were really never that good.
No, they weren't.
It wasn't. No. Remember, Cubs didn't even play a night game at Wrigley Field till I think it was 1986 or 7 or something like that.
Do you know the date? The date is actually one of those unique days in the calendar.
Wow. Was it March 31st?
No. It was in August.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Okay.
And the year was 1988.
88, gotcha. So, you had no choice but to get home and watch games. And, as a baseball fan, you watch the Cubs. And you watch the White Sox, or you go to the White Sox games if you can. But I think it shaped it tremendously. There's nothing like going to a ball game at Wrigley Field. I don't care if you like the Cubs or not. You definitely have to go catch a game there. Here's a pitch by Tony Horn, still going strong, 6 strong so far.
And the actual date was the 8th day of the month.
Wow.
I remember that.
Yes. 8/8/88. Okay, gotcha.
That's what I remember.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I remember that so vividly about the first night that they cut on the lights in
Right.
Wrigley Field.
Right. Then you could watch a game at night on TV.
Yeah, which
you grew up in you're Indianapolis. You're Central guy.
We grew up.
Get strike 3 to Isaiah Adams. Tony Horn still moving along. Judah Wilbur will step up to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day.
Gotta love the performance that you're getting from Tony Horn. I don't know, as I'm starting to do a dig here to see how many complete games UAPB has had this season or how deep any pitcher has gone in a performance.
Well, he's still got the off-speed working, as you see it right there. He's pitching backwards here, starting off Judah Wilbur with some off-speed. And as you saw, he made a signal there a couple of pitches ago. He says, I want to work quick. He moved his glove, and that's what he was trying to say. And now he feels as though he's in a groove. He's getting a call there. He's getting a sign from the catcher, who's getting a sign from the dugout. And he's wearing that never miss a sign wristband.
Tony Horn went 7 innings back on March 13th against Texas Southern.
That's right. That's where I saw him.
5 hits, 3 earned runs, only 1 walk, 5 struck. He struck out 5. And that was his deepest outing of the year.
Deuces a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swung on, ground ball. Parker can't get to it. So we'll give him an E6 there. I wonder if Coach James is going to come out and talk to him and settle him down after that. It's not doing anything wrong.
Oh yeah, that was and this will be an interesting at bat, because just like what we saw previously on the Southern side, when you're rolling, you make that big mistake. What's that next batter do?
O'Neal Burgess, 1 for 3 on the day. A hit in his last AB. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 1.
I think if Horn can retire Burgess, it'll be a good sign for Coach James to leave him in there, maybe heading into the 8th.
Like to see Tony Horn get a ground ball here, fly ball. There's a shot to the shortstop, right back at Parker. Can't handle it. 2 errors in a row, which lets the Jaguars back in the door here.
Yeah, that's a tough break right there for Parker. Hometown kid having a pretty decent performance, and I think this might be it for Horn. Horn, I don't know. This isn't Coach James. This is the pitching coach, and it's been James that's normally been. Well, I take that back. They're going to the bullpen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I don't even see. I'm not sure what happened to Coach James. But Coach is going to make the pitching change. And they're going to bring in Chase Matlin. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll have numbers on the new Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lion pitcher. You're watching Black College Baseball here on the Black College Sports Network.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Aves' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is, over
45, Jace Mapston, the new pitcher in town for the Golden Lions, the sophomore from Willis, Texas, by way of Paris Community College in Paris, Texas. That's Paris, Texas, the big time. Got any stats on him?
Well, we saw Jace for a moment yesterday. But on the year, this would be Jace's now 7th appearance. Coming into this series, ERA was definitely up there a bit.
Here's the pitch, swung on, foul, right side. And now I'm not sure here, Tosh Porter is being pitch hit for. Ryan Ollison, the new Jaguar batter. His first time seeing Ryan Ollison this season. Ball gets past the catcher, runners advance up. Judah Wilbur gets over to third. O'Neal Burgess advances up to second. So Mapston has already let runners advance 1. Jaguars trail 5-2. The pitch. Called ball outside.
Well, with 2 outs, there is an open base, so.
And ball 4. That'll bring up right fielder Tremaine Spears.
Last person you want to see if you're UAPB with the bases loaded.
Tremaine Spears on the day, 1 for 2. Flied out to center field in his last at bat. Had a walk and a stolen base in the 3rd inning. The pitch by Mapston misses outside. Actually, it touched the corner, strike 1. So Mapston gets ahead of Spears. That's a good spot to be in against Spears. Moves the count to 1-1.
Unfortunately for Mapston, he's given up the most earned runs on the pitching staff this season. And so he really needs to stay ahead of Spears here. Don't give him anything good to hit.
The pitch. Called strike.
That was a good throw.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Spears. Bases loaded. Wilbur at third, Burgess at second, Ollison at first. Here's the pitch. And misses outside. The Deuces are wild here again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. And Tremaine Spears trying to put the Jaguars on top here. The pitch. Swung on, foul ball into the stands. And she may need to wake up down there. I'm not sure. You know, one place you don't fall asleep at is the baseball field.
No.
Football, I can kind of, basketball, but baseball, that thing gets everywhere, man. The fans get into the game as well. The pitch. Swung on, high fly ball. Center field, Davion White going back. Did he make the catch? No, he didn't. And all the way around, Tremaine Spears stands up on third base, ties this contest at 5.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I watched that ball in the air, Nick, and I watched that ball move on White because I thought he had it. And then, obviously, when that ball shifted in the air, the wind is blowing a little bit from White's right to left or from left to right. In terms of field position, that's what happened. That ball hung in the air, and it just moved on him. 3rd error of the inning. My goodness. Tough break for UAPB, and we got a tie ball. No.
Well, they're going to automatically put Xavier Moore on base, and they're going to take their chances with the freshman Bubba Thompson.
But we should have a tie ball game. I know our scoreboard only says 5-4, but
I've got 5-5.
It should be 5-5. Yes, that was a base.
We'll let them know.
Well, wait a minute. They have a runner at 3rd.
That was the batter. That was Spears. There was a triple.
Exactly.
And all 3 runs scored.
Okay.
They just intentionally walked Xavier Moore.
I got what you. Okay.
Now they're going to pitch to Bubba Thompson, who's 0 for 3 on the day.
The intentional walk. I was expecting
there you go.
Pitch.
IBB. That's an IBB, intentional walk.
Okay, thank you.
They're going to go 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. So, guys, I need to find out where head coach Carlos James is. He's not in the dugout. We see the assistant coach, Mallitson, taking over. We can get a word on what's going on with head coach Carlos James here. Not sure if he was given the boot early on in this contest. Here's the pitch, and misses outside. Haven't seen an intentional walk in college baseball now. The rules have changed. You don't have to throw the pitches anymore. You can just send them down to first base if that's what you want to do.
It's a good rule. Let's not waste time.
And let's not waste our arms.
Right.
Let's not waste the pitcher's arms on trying to walk somebody who we know. Now, there was a time where even if you threw to the batter and you wanted to walk him, the batter could still swing if you leave it out over the plate, enough. And we've seen that happen. So the Golden Lions gambled there. Now the bases are loaded again. And that's going to bring up Brandon Green to the plate.
Yeah, I think Mapston has got to make a pitching change. As I mentioned, Mapston has unfortunately given up a lot of runs this year in a few number of innings, and I don't think you can't put him in another situation with the bases loaded again and ask the young man to clean this one up.
Going to make a pitching change here. When we return, we'll have the numbers on your new Golden Lion pitchers.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Athens' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. Whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
Welcome back to the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network. New pitcher in for the Golden Lions. Also, it's going to be a pinch hitter here for the Jags. So both coaches playing some percentages, and both coaches going to the bench here.
Jordan O'Gwyn is the new pitcher for UAPB. We saw him last night in Game 2 of this series. This is now his 6th appearance. My papers are everywhere. Let's just say he has a high ERA. And he first pitch hits a run, hits a batter, and Southern has taken the lead.
And that was pinch hitter Javante Doris being hit by a pitch as the Jaguars take the lead 6-5. That'll bring up Jalee Hendricks, the left fielder for the Jags. He actually started this inning by grounding to shortstop. So this is his second at bat of the inning.
You know, all those things we were praising UAPB for in the first 6 innings. Pass ball and another run scored now.
And things aren't looking good here for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff as the bullpen comes in and just didn't start right. You know, two errors with 2 outs. All of this with 2 outs.
All of this with 2 outs. It all started with an E6
by Jar Parker,
and then a second consecutive, and then a couple walks, and a good pitching performance.
And an error by the center fielder.
Yeah, good pitching performance by Tony Horn, who went 6 2/3 and closed the book on him. 7 hits, 4 runs. Only 2 of them were earned, though. And what went from a win, what went from a win opportunity for Horn went to a non-decision.
3 errors in this inning with 2 outs here by the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. The pitch by O'Geen. Misses outside. Did we ever get an answer on Twitter about the DJ reference?
At MyBCSN1, if you know that trivia answer. You recall us referring to from earlier, at MyBCSN1, the number 1.
I feel like this is from a movie too. I hear some. It feels like this is from the Breaking movie, the movie Breaking. Turbo. The pitch. Strike on the outside half to the freshman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 4 runs this inning, actually 5 runs this inning by the Jags. The pitch. Swung on foul to the net.
5 runs in an inning, the most we've had this entire series.
Yeah.
I think that, too, we talked about earlier. Man, just getting all of it covered today, folks.
Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul to the net. Runner at second base is Javante Doris. Bubba Thompson, the runner at third. Jaguars trying to extend the lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball into the stands. And, oh, he ran back. And then it came and one bounce. Now, we used to play a game called Pig. You're off the wall. When you throw the ball off the wall and you got to catch it on the bounce, that's kind of reminded me what that was down there.
Yeah, that young man just kind of stood there for a second.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to come back to me. Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
I used to love going to my brother's baseball games growing up. You know, you always went to somebody's games who was kind of older than you, and, you know, you just kind of go and play around and just, you know, just kind of hang out.
Never paying attention to the game.
Never paid attention to what your friends or family did, whoever you went to go, you know, support. Ball 4. Isaiah Adams is going to step to the plate with his second AB of this inning.
That's the 4th walk of this inning. We've had 4 walks and 3 errors here, all with 2 outs. And now we have the 11th batter of the inning.
4 walks and 1 hit by pitch. And we're going to have another pitching change here by the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. We'll take a break. When we return, stats on the new pitcher. You're watching the Lone Star Diamond Classic here on the Black College Sports Network.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental.
Back to the Lone Star Diamond Classic here in Frisco, Texas. Dr. Pepper Ballpark, Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford. New pitcher here for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff, Bryce Roche. Number 21, the senior from Beaverton, Ohio. Going to come in and relieve O'Geen And we're also going to bring a new member to the broadcast team this inning. You might have heard his name before around MLB, Black College Baseball, former head coach of Southern University, Carrick Jackson. Welcome into the booth, Carrick.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on.
It's all good, man. Glad to have you a part of this Lone Star Diamond Classic, a part of this broadcast. I've heard a lot about you. We've talked before, man. And one of the things I want to get started with is what you're doing now in MLB. Tell the people out there a little bit about what you're doing here with MLB.
So my new role is president of the MLB Draft League, and it's a new league that is going to be started this summer, and it's going to be geared towards draft eligible players for each year. And we're looking around to give these kids an opportunity now that they move the draft back to mid-July. This is going to be a chance for these kids to come in there and play, get a true indoctrination to professional baseball and what they're looking at getting into. It also gives the decision makers, cross-checkers, scouting directors and such to see all these kids in a central location, not have to travel all over the country to see them.
And as Coach Jackson was talking there, Davion White ends the inning for the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Southern Jaguars come away with 5 runs that inning as they take the lead 7-5. 7th inning stretch here, and we're up in the booth with Carrick Jackson, MLB Draft League president. Talk a little bit more about, this event, the Lone Star Diamond Classic. You're a former coach at Southern, just removed 1 year. What does this mean to the HBCU baseball culture and even the MLB into some aspects?
Definitely. I think this is a great event, and we were looking forward to obviously coming here and being in it. For me, one of the things that I did once I got this new role was I went to MLB and said, hey, if we want to have more black players in the game, let's give them a platform to do so. And so they are allowing me to go out and scout just the HBCUs. And so this will give these kids an opportunity to be seen. I know area scouts, they go out and they scout these guys, but on a weekend, if you're in Texas or Louisiana on a Friday night, you're not coming to watch Southern and Grambling or Southern and Texas Southern play. So I thought, to give these guys a better chance than just coming in and watching us play on a Tuesday night against LSU and facing 92 to 95, once a week or 3 times a season. Let's watch them in their environment, grade them on their tools, and then determine whether or not they have the ability to go on and play at the next level.
As we get things going here for the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, Nick Krucher is going to lead things off here, the first baseman, as they trail 7-5. Talk a little bit about your experience, man, and you mentioned the draft. I know you worked with MLB before in between coaching stints. Talk a little bit about, your experience in the game, coaching game, your playing days, your coaching days, and how you got to the point where you're at now.
Yeah, you know what? It's been something where growing up, played baseball when I was younger and was a 3-sport athlete in high school. And baseball, I think, was my calling, and played in college. And got to finished and graduated from University of Nebraska, and a combination of being injured and not being good enough, my career was over. And I jumped into the coaching arena right away. And it's something that I've had a passion for. What I tell people all the time is I think God blessed me with the ability and knowledge to coach baseball, but my true passion is working with young people and mentoring. And so if I had the knowledge to coach basketball, I'd be doing that. But baseball is what it is, and followed my passion, and it's taken me down, a bunch of different roads. As you mentioned, I was a Midwest area scout and supervisor with the Washington Nationals. I've coached at junior college. I coached in the Big 12. I coached in the SEC. Spent 2 drafts with Boers Corporation as an agent. So had a lot of opportunities, and when this opportunity came open at Southern, it was something that really, really excited me, because it was a chance for me to take everything that I had done and bring it to an HBCU environment and raise the profile of HBCU baseball.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because you took over for legendary head coach Roger Cador. I mean, those shoes to fill there, and as a Bubba Thompson feels that ground. But did you recruit Bubba Thompson, or did he come after you?
I did. No.
We talked about him being from Wisconsin yesterday. Can you tell the story about that? I mean, that's not swackish, as we usually say. Wisconsin. I'm from Chicago. I mean, but Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I mean,
Right. We happened to see him at an event when he was going into his junior year.
Okay.
And really liked what we saw. And he was a 3-sport athlete, but he didn't play on that circuit. Played football, played basketball. Started just having discussions with him, and from where he is up there in Wisconsin, there's not a lot of black folks up there.
Hortonville. Now, Hortonville, where is that? Is that close
Appleton.
to Appleton.
Yeah.
What the D3 World Series is, correct?
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
exactly.
Or used to be, is it still there?
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
He
started.
knows baseball. He knows baseball.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we started having discussions with him. His mother is a high school basketball and middle school basketball coach. So
Oh, wow.
he comes from a coaching background, and they came down on a visit and really enjoyed what we were offering him. And one of the things we talked about was, the baseball part is what it is, but this is an opportunity to understand who you're going to be as a black male. And coming from where he was coming from, that opportunity didn't exist.
Right.
So to come down, get in this environment, let us, grow you up and mature you. And by the way, you're probably going to be a pretty good baseball player.
Absolutely. By the way, baseball player, mention a student athlete to go along with that. I like that. Definitely, I like that. And here's the pitch. And Humberto Maldonado is at the plate. The count is 3-1 here. Moving forward and just talking about, we were talking about it being taken over for head coach Roger Cador. What were some of the things that he talked to you about when you took over the program? And, what were some of the things that you kind of learned actually being a head coach at a school like Southern University? Rich tradition. I think Roger Cador over 500 wins, a lot of swag turns. They say Southern wins another championship. It just keeps going on and on. Just talk about what he meant to you at the program and the program itself.
Well, my first opportunity in meeting him was 2005 when I was coaching at Nicholls State, and we played them when I was at Nicholls State. And obviously that was kind of during their still kind of going through their heyday, that late 90s, early 2000s, where they were really, really rolling. And, again, as we know, especially coming from the Midwest, being a black baseball player, you have some opportunities to play with other black players, but few and far between. And Chicago's a little bit different with what they had going on with the ACE program and some of those things. But I was always impressed by what they were able to do, and I always believed that if you got the right environment, that, our sport is that one sport where we talk about it all the time, where we can compete on a national level. It's to happen in football or basketball from an HBCU standpoint, you're going to have to put together something really, really special. But when you talk about baseball, you teach these kids how to play the right way. Our athleticism takes hold, and they understand the game. Watch out.
It's funny you mention and bring up being able to compete at that national level. We've seen HBCUs, and I'm framing this in the standpoint of your role now and what you're able to see outside of just Southern, but you're able to see everyone and scout everybody. We've seen HBCUs make that advancement into the super regionals on the college national tournament. How long will it be before we have a team that actually makes it to the College World Series?
It's funny that you say that, because when I got in there, I had that that was in my press conference. That was the first thing, was that the goal was Omaha, and some of the reporters, hey coach, and an HBCU has never actually been past a super. They've gotten to a regional, they've never been past a regional and gotten into a super. But it was, hey coach, man, you're talking about Omaha, and those are lofty goals. And my response to them was, why coach at the Division I level if you're not trying to win a national championship?
Sure.
And so we had to change the belief system at Southern. I had to make sure that on our schedule you put conference tournament, regional tournament, super regionals, Omaha. If you don't see it, you can't believe it. And so we had to build that belief system and get them to understand that, hey, if you go out and play this game the right way, this is the one game besides golf where you're playing against the game itself and not the other opponent. It really doesn't matter who's on the other side. It's about how you go about and handle your business. And so, my first year we won 9 games. We got walked off 6 times. 15 of our 33 losses were 2 runs or less. And year 2 we win 34 games. Beat LSU when they're ranked 8th in the country and go to that Mississippi State regional, and should have walked out of there with a win. And we weren't ready to make that ascent just yet. But our guys walked out there with confidence. And the beautiful thing about that Mississippi State regional is for 7 innings, 14,000 people were dead quiet.
Wow.
Because
you had them on the ropes, yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't the beauty of it, and I told our guys at the end, the beauty of it wasn't that Mississippi State played poorly. We played the way that we're capable of playing.
Right.
And then you see where the chips fall after that.
The fly ball as we get the new inning started here. Judah Wilbur leading off things here. The top half of the 8th inning. Southern leading 7-5. Did you actually recruit Judah Wilbur as well? Or
Yeah,
he was a transfer portal from Chicago State.
Yeah, so all these, I just left in November.
Right.
So all these kids
Gotcha.
were kids that we recruited while we were there.
Here's a ground ball to Parker. Let's see if he can make up for a couple of things he did wrong last inning, and he does. 6-3. We're scoring at home. Jar Parker.
Any interesting recruiting stories with any of these guys that you look out here? Anything that you can share?
I think you obviously, I'm sure you guys, I haven't been able to watch or listen to the broadcast because I've been here at the games, but you got Jolly Hendricks and you got Brandon Green. The irony of two kids that both played in the Little League World Series against each other.
Okay, against each other.
Against each other.
Okay,
they were both there.
Now, I didn't know that. Jolly Green, he was on. Oh, that's
Jolly Hendricks.
That's the one from the Philadelphia team. So he was on the Monet Davis.
Yep.
We were talking about that. We didn't put it together. We didn't put that together.
Yep. And actually, we were trying to. Monet was thinking about coming here because Monet and Jolly are best friends.
We mentioned. I said it would be great if she could play baseball in the SWAC.
Yeah.
But she's playing softball at Hampton. Yeah.
Yep. So that's and how we went about recruiting him was he saw us play on TV in that Andre Dawson Classic, and just liked how we were going about our business and what it looked like, and he never imagined HBCU baseball being played in that manner. Then I later saw him in Kansas City, and it kind of took off from there. This is a good group. This freshman class with Isaiah Adams, Quincy Smith. I think he got a
he did last night.
Yeah. But you got him, you got Isaiah Adams, you got Jerry Burkett, who came in and pitched last night, A.J. Walter, who's not here this weekend. This freshman class is really, really special. I think it's the most talented class that we brought on board since in the time that I've been here. And there's a lot of kids in that class that will transform and take this thing to a whole nother level.
Let's talk about recruiting real quickly. You mentioned Monet Davis, Jalee Hendricks, Brandon Green, all part of, we'll just say, Urban Youth Academies at the same time. Talk a little bit about what, your role is with MLB. I mean, I know it probably doesn't have a direct correlation, but how about just talking about what the MLB Youth Urban Academies mean to, we'll just say, HBCU baseball in this sense? That could really help us at this point.
No question. I think what you have in place and what they're looking for this to grow into is an excellent opportunity for the HBCU programs to go out and recruit some kids that are learning how to play baseball the right way. I think that, you have all these academies popping up, but to give you and your fellow Chicagoans a pat on the back, the ACE program really set the standard of what this thing was supposed to be. From back when I was at Missouri, we were always trying to get kids from that program because the one thing we knew about kids coming from the ACE program, they were going to know how to play the game of baseball.
Right.
And that's a huge deal.
Shout out to Daryl Butler, Kenny Fullman, and all Kevin Cole and all those guys.
Right. Yeah. So I think that roadmap had been laid out, and so it was, easy to follow, and that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to is, in addition to the role that I have, I've been fortunate enough to be funded to start a foundation, and with that foundation I'm looking to grow the game in the black communities and just kind of pull us all together and give us a direction and make sure we're all working in the same direction.
Coach Carrick Jackson, 6'4" equals what?
Double play.
That sounds good. Jar Parker, 6'4", starting a double play for the Golden Lions as they still trail 7-5. We'll keep it right here with Coach Jackson hanging out in the booth. Let's talk a little bit more about recruiting. I got a chance to listen to one of your podcasts that you put on in the BPP group on Facebook, and one of the things that you talked about was, the recruiting at the HBCUs. You mentioned, some of the parents, we have to understand, the recruiting process. You have to know what it is that you're looking for. There was one comment you said, man, and it was just on I think it was Coach Riggins from Prairie View, Coach from Claflin, and Coach Sapp from Claflin. I think it was one more person you had on there. I can't remember.
It was, I'm drawing a blank. Coach Grissom.
Coach Grissom, right.
Yep.
You just kind of mentioned, there are certain things that we look for. Not just because we're HBCU. You just don't get recruited because you're an African American.
Yes.
This is not a well, he can play in the SWAC. I remember you said that. That's not the ball player we're looking for. This is not an entitlement thing. What type of ball players do we need to grow this game here in the Southwestern Athletic Conference?
Well, I think if you look with the goal of winning the SWAC, you become short-sighted.
Gotcha.
And so for me, recruiting for me was based on the idea of who can we get, how can we grow them up so that when we get ourselves in a position that we end up in a Mississippi State regional or an LSU regional, that we can go in there and give ourselves a chance. So the advantage that I think that we have in the SWAC is that we can take players that have ability with a low skill level and develop their skills so that by the time they're sophomores, juniors, seniors, they're just as good as anybody else in the country. And when you go back and you look at that 2019 year for us and when we beat LSU, if you went around position by position, the ability level of the guys that we had versus the guys they had was just the same. The skill level of those guys was just a little bit higher, but our ability level was no different than theirs. And so, like you said, that's one of the things I always say is if somebody calls me up and says this guy can play in the SWAC, I say he needs to go play someplace else. Because you're putting him in a box and you're telling me who I should get and who I can recruit, and that's not how this works. I want the guy that is being recruited by some of the bigger schools, and I'm not afraid to have him tell me no.
And I think that's the biggest thing right there, because that happens all across the HBCU landscape in sports. You know, a lot of coaches tend not to ask a kid to come to my school because they think he's a blue chipper, and they're scared of the answer no.
Yep.
I mean, we've been told no 10,000 times before. I mean, in a lot of different places, but I played in the SWAC, man. I appreciate everything that you do from a recruiting standpoint, just from a knowledge standpoint. You mentioned that you played 3 sports. You're in this for the kids, and I think we have to remember that why as we get to coaching all these kids and just being a part of, Black College baseball. I see you really a scout, man. I see you got the timer in your hand.
Yeah.
I know you're out there clocking some times. You're clocking some home to first. You're clocking some throwdowns from catcher to second base. What are some things that you like about this Pine Bluff team? They're young out there. Who are some players that you're looking at, or not necessarily that you're looking at, but just like in general?
Yeah, he's got the one thing that he does a great job of is he keeps these kids motivated.
Yes.
They have that never say die attitude,
and there's a shot down the left field line, just foul. Casey Higgins trying to put his team back into this contest. You were saying,
and
Coach James.
Yeah, Coach James, and they feed off of him. When he gets going, they get going. I used to tell our guys all the time. I said, listen, he's going to have that moment where he's going to try and stir him up, and all we got to do is weather that storm. If we weather that storm, we're going to be okay. I said, if we let that wave grow, we're going to be in trouble. So he's got some athletic kids. He's got some arms. One of his arms is coming back from COVID, and that left-hander that came in yesterday.
And there's the diving stop by left fielder Jalee Hendricks from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, best friend of Monet Davis.
I actually think that's Isaiah.
Oh, did they make the change?
Yeah,
Isaiah Adams moves from center field. Gotcha.
That's
and Jalen Armstrong is in center field now.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Isaiah's one of those freshmen that I talked about from Arizona, kid that came from one of the top high schools in Arizona. He's actually came to us as an infielder, but in the fall we played him everywhere but catcher, and he starred and shined every place on the field.
Even a pitcher?
We did not pitch him. We did not pitch him, but he has an unbelievable belief system himself. And I tell our guys all the time, there's a very, very fine line between being cocky and cocksure, and he walks that line pretty finely.
Let's talk a little bit about this draft league coming up, man. It's pretty. I mean, the Major League Baseball game has changed.
Yes.
Minor League Baseball game has really changed. I mean, due to budget or whatever it may be, just the COVID and everything. There are teams that have been shifted around. I mean, I'm in Houston, so Sugar Land is a new AAA affiliate. This is Frisco's AAA as well. With that being said, what is the draft league going to do in terms of that? Recap those small cities that kind of left, that kind of got their team taken away from them in a sense. Is that going to replace the draft? Is the draft league going to replace some of that excitement for those small towns?
It is, and I think that was part of Major League Baseball's idea, was to put some teams back into those cities. When you look at our league right now, it's a 6-team league, with 4 teams being from the
West Virginia area.
Yeah, so you got Mahoning Valley, State College, Pennsylvania, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, Trenton, which was AA, Frederick, which was High A, and Morgantown, West Virginia. So you got 4 teams that were in that New York Penn League, and then you got those other 2 teams. I think there's an opportunity for us to grow. The brand of baseball that they're going to get in these cities is going to be very, very similar to what they had before, because it's still primarily college kids, but we're going to have some high school kids. The high school kids are going to be a higher level high school kid, but they're going to be seeing potential pro drafts and have a chance to see these kids before they actually get with affiliated clubs. So it gives them a new type of perspective on what's going on.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, usually those kids that go play in the summer are usually at the Cape. I mean, now and I know Cape was off this year due to the COVID. Is this going to replace the Cape, or is it?
No, I think that's what.
Where's the difference going to be?
Yeah, that's what everybody's worry was. But the Cape has always existed in a pocket where they dealt with players that weren't draft eligible.
Gotcha.
We're only focusing on draft eligible players. So, so we should not cross paths when it comes to who they're recruiting and who they're trying to get in there and who we want to get in.
There's Wilbur Judah making a play across the diamond. Had an Indian in there for the Golden Lions. 7-5 your score. Jaguars still in the lead. We'll keep it right here one more time, and we'll have a couple more questions with Coach Jackson. You were talking about the differences between the Cape and the MLB Draft League. You're only getting draft-eligible kids.
Yes.
So kids who are eligible to go in, maybe that's a high school senior, that is a junior college freshman or sophomore, that is a 4-year junior, sophomore-ish due to the COVID, over 21 baseball player.
Well, and not just COVID. Now that they've moved the draft back, there's a 45-day window in which you turn 21 in that 45 days of the draft. Then you're eligible for the draft.
Gotcha.
So now that we've gone from the beginning of June to the middle of July, now that 45-day window has shifted. So all those parents who athletically redshirted their kids and kept them back from kindergarten year, now those kids are going to be draft eligible as sophomores.
6 teams.
Yep, 6 teams in the league right now. We'll have 30-man rosters.
Okay.
We're going to play a 68-game schedule.
Wow, double hitters or
no? It's it's
June
going to be. We're actually going to start May 24th.
Okay,
and we're going to use that as a trial evaluation period for the first 14 games for some of the smaller school kids because what I do believe is I don't want us to focus just on Power Fives. There's kids at HBCUs. There's kids at NAIAs, Junior College Division II. So let's give those kids a chance to be seen and evaluated as well, and then we'll play up till July 8th. We'll take a break from the 9th to the 14th, which is when the All-Star break and the draft. The draft is going to be the 11th through the 13th, and then we'll pick up and we'll finish July 15th to August 15th.
So if a kid happens to get drafted at that time while he's playing, does he report to minor leagues, or does he keep playing in the league, or how would that work?
I think this first year we're still trying to figure that out. My big overall picture is that we get these kids to come back and get these teams to send their kids back.
Let them finish the season.
Yeah, let them finish the season with us, and with our focus being on helping them grow as professionals.
Okay.
We're not going to teach them the Cardinals way or the Yankees way or the Mets way. We're going to teach them how to be professionals. I think there's consistencies in that when you're talking about being a professional. And the thing, too, is want this league to take place to give these kids the reality of what professional baseball is, right? Their perception of pro ball and the reality of pro ball are two different things. So we want to make sure that they understand what pro ball really, really is and what that grind is about. Most of these kids think, I should play pro ball because I'm good enough. Well, the problem is that everybody that's there is good enough. So that's not the separator.
Everybody's good. And in terms of, just kind of choosing a kid or finding a kid, for this league, draft eligible, if I'm a parent watching the broadcast today or this weekend and like you just say, my baby, he's the best. What is the process, or when I say it's process, if I'm a parent and my kid is probably going to be, in this league, what can I expect to happen? Is it a phone call, an email, talk to the coach, or what are you guys doing to kind of reach out to these kids this year?
Yeah, so it's a combination between talking with scouts, talking with college coaches, having some, using them as a guideline for us and talking about certain kids that they've seen in certain areas. And then once we know that we have some confirmation on that particular player's ability, then we extend an invitation and invite them to the league, have them sign a contract, and then we start the process.
Now the contract just because it's
just a summer,
gotcha.
So you got
not an MLB contract.
Yeah, not an MLB contract. No,
these kids are still
they're still amateurs. They're not going to get paid. So yes, they
no
still
free food?
go back to school. Yeah,
no free food.
Yeah, it'll be like we they'll be housed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then they'll have that
good old host family.
Yeah, they'll have that real feel. This year, MLB doesn't want host families with everything that's going on, so we'll have kids in dorms and apartments and those types of things.
Okay.
But they'll get that real feel of what pro ball's like: pregame and postgame meals, early work, and all those kind of things.
Here's a shot right back up the middle. Tremaine Spears from Pineville, right outside Alexandria.
He'll be playing in the draft league this summer.
Okay, gotcha. Well, he needs to. I I was going to refer him to you, by the way. I was going to send you a text message after the game and said, if you don't get Jermaine Spears, I'm going to have to take him and find him somewhere to play because this kid has been turning it up all weekend, man.
Yeah, he's got a special set of tools with power and speed. Didn't get as many at-bats as he would have liked at UL. But I think he's a special young man, and he's got the right mindset. So get him up there this summer and give him an opportunity and hope it works out for him.
Can we watch the games online this summer or listen to them online?
We're going through that process now of figuring out exactly how games are going to be broadcast, and that is part of the plan.
Okay. There's a shot. Xavier Moore. The wind taking it to the stands. And what happened with the left fielder down there? Casey.
Tripped over that white line.
Okay. Yeah, the broadcast and, the social media and it's always a big deal. People want to watch those games. Kids are going to be away from parents. Now, let me ask you this. With the expansion of the draft league, and I know you're talking about MLB draft, I know Venezuela's doing their thing, MLB, Dominican's doing their thing in MLB. Even China has got into a little bit of the MLB experience. Will we be seeing any international kids in this league, or are we just focusing on NCAA, NAIA, or just the United States?
I think eventually we will see international kids. Right now, the international signing period is early July.
Gotcha.
And so once they go to an international draft and shift that back and have that line up with the regular draft, then I think that'll give us that opportunity to get some of those kids. We're going to try and get some Canadian kids to come down and play, they're not international.
Some good baseball there.
Yeah, they're not international, but we'll get some Puerto Rican kids to come over because it's tough for scouts to get over there. And so, but yes, eventually I think we will expand that to host some international players in the league.
I like to see a super MLB draft type of tournament between the Dominican, Puerto Rico, MLB draft. I like to see some. I like to see some amateur tournaments going on somewhere up in there. It's just been a good experience, man. Glad you made it out this weekend. I've been seeing you down. I met you down in Houston a couple of years ago, and you've always, you're bringing that mindset you just talked about as the ball kicks away, and coming around second. Spears trying to get there. He'll get stopped on second base. You just brought that. You've brought that excellence, man. You've brought that, that step that we needed here to the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and I just appreciate you being a SWAC alum. I chose Texas Southern, over Southern at that time, but the tradition that I've seen Southern have, Southern was the reason I chose the SWAC.
Right.
And just for you to be a part of that and keeping it going, Coach Crenshaw. Now, we haven't even talked about Coach Crenshaw yet.
Yep.
I think you got him. I think you stole him away from Omar over at Jackson State, man. Talk a little bit about that.
So Coach Crenshaw and I have a long-term relationship that goes 10 years plus. And we met when he was a young coach at a JC, and we were at an event together, and we actually met the first time at the ABCA convention in Chicago, and we just started talking.
And I heard your podcast, by the way, a couple of them from the ABCA, and I think there was one more you did that's online. You did two from ABCA.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard both of them, by the way.
Yeah. They started a diversity committee there, and they asked me to be the chair of that diversity committee.
Spencer Allen, you yourself.
Yep. Yeah. So
Kenny Fullman's on that committee as well.
Kenny Fullman's on the board of directors, and so Tony Regans is on that board of directors.
Yeah, we talked about him yesterday with Torrey Hunter.
Yeah.
He was the one who made the acquisition for Torrey to go from the Twins to the Angels.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So no, I think Coach Crenshaw's got a really bright future in this thing. This was kind of dumped on him, obviously mid-year, and so making that transition of going from assistant to head coach at that time of the year is a tough one.
It's hard, man.
It's a very tough one. I've told coaches. I think when I first got the job here at Southern. I told people all the time, as an assistant coach, I was the best head coach in the country.
Right.
Like I had it all figured out.
You mentioned that in your podcast.
Yes,
That's right.
Exactly.
You talked about that. That's right.
Yeah. And so when I got the job, and I'm on the job for maybe 3 weeks or so, I called every head coach I've ever worked for, and I said, listen. I apologize, and I have a renewed sense of respect of everything that you went through as a head coach. When I brought Coach Crenshaw over, I brought him over with the understanding that my job is to help you grow and develop so that someday, I don't know when that's going to be, you're going to have this opportunity, and I need to make sure that you're ready for it. And he was like, oh, no, I'm good with it being assistant. I understand that, but it still will benefit you to be prepared.
Right.
And so, again, he's learning on the job, but he's got the right mindset. He's a great recruiter. He does well with the pitchers. And so I think as he starts to settle in and understand the difference between coaching and managing, I think this thing is going to continue to stay on that trend that we were moving, and it's going to go to another level.
As a coach in the game, I definitely appreciate that when you mentioned the difference between coaching and managing. I mean, I played for Coach Candy Robinson. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, B. White, you know
Yes,
Brian White.
yes.
I mean, that was the staff at that time, and Sonny Garcia. Not sure if you know him.
No, I don't know him,
Okay,
yeah.
but he pitched in the majors, or in the minors, rather. But, he was old school, and a lot of SWAC coaches were. Rat McGowan, Coach Ellis. Over at we had Coach Bumpers there at Pine Bluff before Carlos James. A lot of Coach Braddock, Coach Brady over at Jackson State. A lot of these guys managed the game.
Yes.
I mean, they coached too because they had to, but they were in-game managers.
Yes.
There were coaches who were there for the development, the pitching coach, the hitting coach, whatever. They all had to, coach and get to that. But when you got to that game, they understood what it took to manage this game.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a
you
really
have
big deal.
to, as a manager, you have to have a 180-degree view.
Right.
And if you don't, you will miss out on something, and the game will speed up on you in a hurry. And so, it's just a different understanding, different perspective.
Xavier Moore is going to try to come up to bat and extend the lead here for these Jaguars. First baseman playing in, Nick Kreutzer on the grass. How'd you like those moonshots he hit earlier?
He's done that to us for the last couple of years.
Did you see the splash one? Did you see the one that actually splashed?
Yeah. He's got one spot.
Right.
And if you throw it in that spot,
Right.
he's never going to miss.
Right.
And so, after you've been in it for a while, and specifically if you're a returning pitcher and you make that mistake, shame on you.
What's next for Kerrick Jackson, man?
It's with what we got going on now. I'm really, really excited about it. I think that
You stay on your feet. You stay where your feet are. You
I
like
do.
it? Yeah.
I do. That's the one thing that I've tell people ask me.
And it gets down to bunt there. Great job getting over to Vasquez. And runners advance second and third, one away. And the Jaguars are going to attempt to put some more runs on the board.
So, one thing people ask me all the time is how I got to where I am, and that's the one thing I tell them. I make where I am the best thing that it can possibly be. I've never been in a position where I've had to look for a job. I think that the things that I've done, people have noticed that, and I take pride in that they've come to me like this opportunity. I didn't go seeking it. They came to me.
Right.
And
Right.
So I think that's what it is. I'll do the best make this the best league that I can possibly make it, and being in this new administrative role, and see where it takes me from there.
William Nelson comes to the plate. Runners at second and third. Infield in on the grass. I like to take us back about maybe 5 innings, and I may need your help, Coach Jackson. I don't see Coach James on the field right now, but as I'm talking with you, I'm wondering did that slide at second base have anything to do with an ejection of a coach? Did you see that earlier?
I didn't see anyone get ejected.
Well, okay, guy, because I know he went in. I thought that he went across the bag, and I don't know if there's a shot to left field. Going to have a play at the plate here. Higgins, and no, there's a throw, but no play. So that'd be 1 out, 2 outs here for the Golden Lions. I saw that he slid past the bag. What is the ruling on that to your understanding? I mean, I know there's some sliding rules in there.
Yeah, so
as you know, it's per Division I policy.
Exactly.
Right.
So you're allowed. They want you to maintain contact, and you're not supposed to slide past the bag.
Right.
So that was kind of one of those borderline, iffy things. You want to give them credit for, playing the game hard, but at the same time, you slide past the bag a little bit there. And then also, too, as a second baseman, you got to understand that he's going to be coming there.
Absolutely.
So when you feel that ball, you should be feeling it on the third base side of the bag and alleviating yourself from even being in a position to be slid into. And then now if he does, now it's very obvious for the umpire to see, okay, hey, second base was on third base side of the bag. Right. This guy made contact with him. That's an ejection.
Is that an ejection for the runner? That's what I'm saying. Gotcha.
Yes.
Now, does that eject the coach as well? It
no,
doesn't?
It does
okay, so that's not the reason we don't see Coach James right now, unless it was something else after that.
Yeah.
Because I was just kind of wondering, Coach James, he hasn't been down there, and we didn't get the word. But I don't remember who that was sliding, but I don't know if he got ejected. I didn't see anybody come out in that situation.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, okay. You're like the rules analyst, man. Like when in the NFL, we got the rules analyst, coming out. Jalen Armstrong looked good yesterday. Showing a lot of speed. Just made that one mishap in the outfield. Here's the pitch. Misses on the outside half. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jaguars trying to hold serve. They can get a couple of runs across the board for some insurance. Long games this weekend. 3:45 on Friday, 4 hours last night. Started 12 of 15 today. Here's a pitch. Swung on, foul ball. We're coming up on 3 hours here today. Just a little past 3 hours. 3-3, a little 3:15.
These have definitely been some long games, that's for sure.
But that's swag baseball, man, sometimes, you know.
It is sometimes.
Here's the pitch, out the stretch, and another foul ball. What are some things that you liked about, you know, when I say coaching at Southern, and we'll just talk, you know, traveling around and making those road trips, because you said that was your first time becoming as a head coach at Southern. You know, and what was that HBCU experience like on the road opposed to a Nebraska, or I know you were at Missouri and here and there? You know, what was just some of your favorite moments, man?
You know what? I think that there is a passion in the fan base that exists. That there's a constant rivalry everywhere you go.
Instant rivalry.
Yes,
there you go.
yes. And so that part of it was good. You know, and when I came into the league, my whole goal was, again, being in this environment and having an opportunity to coach young black males that aspire to be at a higher place. You know, I kind of told people that we would have a diverse roster, but we would always stay predominantly black. No disrespect to anybody, but I wasn't going to be in a position where I wanted to go out and start recruiting predominantly white or Hispanic kids, because that's what I believe we needed to do to win. That we would have we'd have a diverse roster, but I was going to go out and find those black kids that were out there playing and say, hey, come on in, let's do this, let's coach you up, and show people that when coached the right way and in the right environment, again, we can play with anybody in the country.
What did Ricky Weeks tell you when you first talked to him?
You know, when we first met and we had kind of a brief conversation, I think it was at homecoming.
Okay.
That first year at homecoming, and you know, I just kind of told him what my vision for things were, what I wanted the program to be, and where we wanted to go. And Ricky is a very reserved individual.
And there's a fly ball. Giving chase is Bentley, and that'll get the Golden Lions outside of this inning. 7-5, Jaguars still lead. Top half of the ninth just ended. We'll go into the bottom half. We'll ask Coach Jackson a couple last questions. We'll get you out of here. We'll finish this game out. You were talking about Ricky Weeks.
Yeah, very reserved individual. And so what I think Ricky did was he took a wait-and-see approach. He heard what I was saying, but he wanted to see it for himself. So he came back and he watched some practices. And after he watched some practices, you know, one of the things that when I got the job, a lot of people, you can appreciate this being a SWAC alum yourself, there's a lot of people that were mad that I got the job, that hey, he's not from Southern. He doesn't know anything about coaching baseball in the SWAC. And so I think once Ricky got involved and got in our environment and saw what we were about, he kind of helped me make that transition and told people, hey, listen, this dude's the real deal. He's going to help us be successful. We need to get on board with him.
Well, you mentioned being an assistant coach. You're like the best head coach in the country. Well, being a fan and a SWAC alum and somebody who doesn't fit on the field, we're all the best coaches in the country.
Right.
And we're all the best, the search committees of the country. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it happens. It happens. And, but one thing about you came into Southern, and nobody can take this away, as Brandon Green, talked about in his book. All that happened with Jackie Robinson, nobody can take it away that they won the championship.
Yes.
You came into Southern, I think you just said it, 9 games. First year, 32. 34. So that was a 20, what was it, a 34 minus 9 is 23 game turnaround, plus the SWAC championship. And had COVID not ended your season last year,
we were set.
Right.
We were really excited about it. We started off a little bit slow, but we were 6-10. 6 of those 10 losses were Tulane, LSU.
Oh yeah.
So we were always going to play a tough schedule because I wanted our guys to be ready for regional play. So when we got in those environments, they weren't going to be surprised. So yeah, it was. It's funny because in that year the 2019, we win the SWAC championship. But everybody, all they remembered in Baton Rouge was that we beat LSU.
Right.
And it's funny. I told my wife, I said, man, last year, I said, I'm the same dude, but now all of a sudden, I get recognized in the grocery store, or people want to have me on for interviews. As like, I didn't change who I was, like, but that's what. Hey, coach, good win against LSU. Like, nobody say anything about the SWAC championship,
right?
But the other good part was
Xavier Moore takes it across the diamond for the first out, as 2 outs away from bringing in the series sweep.
The other good part about it was we also got a lot of people that would come up to me in the community and say, Coach, I was never interested in baseball before, but I loved watching y'all play, and I'm going to come see y'all play every time we get a chance. And this is from older women to young kids to, just everybody. So that part of it was really, really good, and you saw that in the crowds when we would have home games.
Before we get up out of here, Coach, and we end this thing, just talk real briefly, what would you like to tell everybody out there watching, also about yourself as a man, Kerrick Jackson, as the coach, as this draft league starts to progress? What would you like to just tell the folks out there watching tonight?
I think this is a great game. I think that we're going to be able to do some wonderful things for not only for the professional game with this league, but I also think we're going to be able to do some great things for our kids and our young black kids and coaches with giving them opportunities in this league and expanding that and trying to grow this game. And I just, challenge everybody to get on board and be part of this.
Sounds good to me. Definitely sounds good to me. And there's another fly ball. Judah Wilbur camps under it. After 6, 1 out away from the series sweep here at Frisco Tech, here in Frisco, Texas. Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford. Kerrick Jackson hanging out with us, man. We really appreciate you stopping by. I know we can go all day, man. I'll call you up, man, and we'll have a conversation on Zoom or something.
For sure.
Because I can talk with you all day, man. You're a baseball guy through and through. And we just, love the game. Torrey Hunter said baseball is life. Life is baseball when he came through yesterday. So definitely appreciate you for coming through, man. And, it's all good. Really appreciate your time, man. You see your former team try to wrap this thing up here on the Black College Sports Network. I didn't get the pitcher, Brian. Who's the new pitcher on the mound?
Enrique Ozoa.
Okay, that's the one that he mentioned, also changing numbers today. And he'll be closing it in here for, not going to go home so quick. Not so fast. The Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, one pitch away, one swing away, and look who it is. Now, you said, where's his spot at, Coach Jackson? Where is it? Without telling the other team right now, you are Southern. You know where his spot is.
Yeah.
Where's his spot at? Where's his spot?
He's belt high, middle away. He likes to get his arms extended.
Yeah.
And if you allow him to do that, again, he's not going to miss. You can beat him on the inner third and down, and you can beat him soft away, expanded off the plate. But if you go middle third and you leave it out there, he's going to get
So when you're playing MLB The Show or MVP baseball, that I haven't played a baseball game that long, when you see all the red and cold zones, his red zone is his red zone is red. How red is it? How red is it?
It's red hot. It's red hot. Yeah, it's that middle away spot.
There's Coach James right there. I'm sorry to cut you off. There's Coach James right there. Okay. Yes, I've seen Coach James in 4 innings. So he's back on the field. You were saying about Kreutzer.
Yeah, he's just that's that spot for him. So if you can get him, Enrique throws a really good slider, and if he gets up in the count, you should look for him to bury some of those things, that back foot, and you can get him. But it looks like going 2-0, he might be a little fearful of making a mistake here.
Now you go 3-0. You did any broadcasting lately?
I haven't.
Okay.
But I will tell you right now, this is a guy you cannot let you beat you right here.
Right.
I'd rather put him on, pitch around him, and put him on there as the tying run than allow him to hit a 2-run blast to tie it up.
Strike. 3-1. It's very interesting here. We were talking yesterday. I've seen some 3-0 green lights, but not in that situation.
He's going to have it right.
Let's see. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count here for Kreutzer. Full count, 2 outs. Runner will be taken off right here. Westminster, Colorado. That's where it gets really interesting. You said he has a slider.
He does, and you might see it right here.
I think we may see it right here. I'm not so sure he wants to do fastball 3-2. Let's see what he throws. Here's the pitch. And he does. Strike 3. And the Jaguars take the series and the sweep from the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and 9 in a row, Brian. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll wrap things up here from Frisco, Texas. Thanks, Coach Carrick Jackson, Nick Strong, Brian Fulford. We'll be right back with more here from Frisco, Texas. You're watching Black College Baseball on the Black College Sports Network.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Athens' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. The whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Your ad could be ran here. MyJBN.com/support. MyJBN.com/support for more information. Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Athens' record. 202 and 36, I think.
Southern takes the series sweep 3-0 here in Frisco, Texas at Dr. Pepper Ballpark. Nick Strong alongside Brian Fulford. Great game out there today. Pine Bluff gave it a run at the last minute. just not enough left in the gas tank to get the win. But we've got the trophy presentation coming up right here, Brian. Just tell us your quick thoughts about, today's contest.
One inning made the difference. One play led to a second play and a third. I mean, we saw a great pitching performance by Tony Horn, and unfortunately a couple of infield errors then turned into, it just went all downhill from there. But, a great Southern team, and they did a great job all weekend, battled adversity here in this third game, and appropriately gets the sweep, 9th win in a row over Arkansas Pine Bluff.
As they hoist the trophy, the Lone Star Diamond Classic. What a weekend here in Frisco, Texas. We've had some great interviews up in the booth. Torrey Hunter, Urban Hydration, Kubota, Carrick Jackson, A.D. Roman Banks was here yesterday. We've heard some good things here, good things to come from not only Southwestern Athletic Conference baseball action, but HBCU baseball action. Got some more events coming up here on the Black College Sports Network.
And Nick, if we gave out a player of the series,
I was going to say series today. Yeah,
I would go with Tremaine Spears.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my player of the series. Even though, I mean, look, he was part of that hit towards center field, which with the bases loaded.
Yep.
I mean, look, it ended up being an error, but still, he did what he has done all series.
Can I give an honorable mention though? From the weekend, and I know it's
there it is. So they actually have a player. Okay, good. At least they actually gave him the player of the series.
I want to give an honorable mention out to Tony Horn today, man.
Oh, definitely.
And is that Torrey? That's Torrey down there giving out the award. Tremaine Spears and O'Neal Burgess. And as Coach Carrick Jackson said, he'll be playing in the draft league this summer.
Southern improves to 9-12, 7-12 in the conference. Got a weekend series with your alma mater next weekend.
Ooh, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Texas Southern coming to Houston.
Texas Southern with Cameron Fields, transferred from Texas. He'll be the game one starter for sure Friday night, I'm sure. They're going to have to tighten up their back end. They just got swept by Grambling last weekend. Grambling's looking good, though, as well. A lot of like we talked about, a lot of parity in the SWAC this year, man. Nobody just overpowering everybody just yet. It's still kind of early in the season. PV's going to have a couple of weeks off, and they're going to have to, kind of retool some things together and doing what they're doing. And, over in the SWAC East, Jackson State, just doing an awesome job getting their program together. And Alabama State is always going to be there. Alabama A&M, again, just getting a new coach, Coach Henry. Mississippi Valley and, Coach Stevens still trying to hang in there, man. It's just, it's not a great year for everybody. There were some, hard-hit areas in the SWAC. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention also Alcorn State head coach Brett Richardson. Let's wrap things up here from Frisco, Texas. Brian, just again, your final thoughts about the whole weekend, man. What did you like about this Black College week? What did you like about this Lone Star Diamond Classic?
I just love the fact that we had great weather today. Even though it was a little windy, a little cool, but if you were out in the bleachers, if you were on the field, you had great conditions all weekend. Beautiful atmosphere, beautiful park. Just a great weekend for baseball. And, I'll be looking forward to seeing what Southern looks like as the season progresses and going into the SWAC tournament. And I think UAPB showed that coming up in the next couple of years, they're going to be a force to contend with. And I'm going to beat the table right here, Nick.
Uh-oh.
We want to see scheduling amongst all teams in the SWAC. We don't want just the East playing the East and the West playing the West. We got to get at least one series where we have cross-division competition at least once during the season.
That counts in conference play, you're saying?
You know what?
Gotcha.
Even if it doesn't, it gives an opportunity to maybe set up for what, a great expectation and some great storylines to talk about when you go into the SWAC tournament.
One of the things that I liked about Southern this weekend was their execution of the small ball.
Oh,
That's one thing I'm big on. We saw at least maybe 4 or 5 bunts from Southern this weekend. We saw Pine Bluff try to lay it down as well, but Coach Crenshaw was able to play that small ball and have moved runners over from first to second, second to third, and the execution of the double steal. Don't forget about the execution of the double steal. So, Coach Crenshaw has the playbook together. It's just about putting that together for 24 games and into the conference tournament and possibly on into the NCAA region.
You had me thinking, and out. You mentioned the small ball. I was looking to see here. I think we may have only had 1 home run by Southern the entire weekend, but we had plenty of runs. 11, 15, 26, 30-something runs. I'm going to do the quick math here and fail. 34, 33?
26 plus 7, 33.
There you go. See, I was close. Runs over the course of 3 games. I mean, you do the math. That's 11 per game. And only 1 home run. So that just tells you get runners on base, get hits, a fun brand of baseball. And I came away very impressed with what I saw here. Very excited about the second half of the season in the SWAC for not just Southern, but just the entire season down the stretch.
And it's a long college baseball season, to go along with that 55-game, possible 55-game, well, we'll say 55-game limit. Not sure who's taking it up. They're up on their offer to playoff 55. Let's wrap it up with Pine Bluff real quick. I mean, I know they're young. I think Coach James talked about that. The inexperience kind of set in. But, what did you really like about this Arkansas Golden Lion Pine Bluff baseball team?
Well, I like they had certain players. Karsten Vasquez is a player that comes to mind. Did a great job out in the field, and behind the plate. Of course, Nick Kreutzer, 2 big shots today. I saw a lot of guys deal with the shuffling a bit. Whether it be batting at the top or the bottom and sort of that reverse. So I thought Coach James did a great job trying to move guys around and get guys to play in maybe uncomfortable situations, and the pitching staff will get better. We did see a great performance by Tony Horn. I think that's a real positive.
I think that was really good today.
And I'd have to say, of everything we saw from a pitching perspective, that by far was the best pitching performance we saw
all weekend.
On both
I think
teams
so.
all
Yeah,
weekend.
I believe it.
Clear as day. I mean, the second one would be on day 1 from
Snyder.
Southern's Jacob Snyder. That might go number 2. But just all in all, a lot to be positive about as it relates to the future. We know this is a young team, maybe only 1 senior, 1 junior, very limited upperclassmen for UAPB, but the future is very bright, and we understand, we know they have a coach who will get them on the track back towards the SWAC West Championship, and where they are a title contender. And don't be surprised. Like I said, the whole month of April is sitting there for everybody.
Right.
So, as you said, baseball, it can all turn on a dime, so you never know what might happen.
Okay. Well, we do have a couple of coaches up here inside the booth. We will put Coach James on the mic. Coach, how you feeling? Did you get up those stairs today, man? You got 4 flights of stairs, man. I understand.
I guess I found the one. Y'all let me roll the elevator, right?
That's what I was looking for, the elevator, man.
Shoot, man.
No, that's a lot of stairs. Hey, tough break today, man. You had the league going in there. You talked about it. We talked about it. You having a young team, and I think it just kind of showed this weekend. What type of fight did you see in your team? What did you learn about your team this weekend?
Well, the thing is, they came back today and they still competed.
Yep.
And they had the lead late in the game. But just like most young teams do, we talked about having some consistency.
Yes. Yes.
That's one of the things that we trying to, gather right now. And then it's hard to do that when you're playing the champion.
Yes.
They got a lot of young kids too, but they also got a good mixture of veteran presence that has won a championship. And I've been on that side.
Yes.
We may not win the SWAC championship, but winning the West 3 years in a row.
Yes.
When you got those guys like that, they make the difference in games like this. And especially I think it was the 6th inning for us where we gave him 6 outs.
Yeah, that was with 2 outs.
That was the
game.
game.
6 out with 2 outs.
Yeah, because at that period I had went down to the bullpen because I knew it was going to be nip and tuck. And I told one of the relievers, I was like, this is the game right here. And we got the quick 2 outs. And then we gave him 3 straight out. I mean, 3 straight outs that we could have gotten to get out of the inning, still been up 5-2, which we would have probably won the game at that point.
Can you just recap his performance today, Tony Horn? Talk a little bit about him. I mean, we really thought he had the best pitching performance the whole weekend.
Yeah, Tony Horn is an old school pitcher. He's a
transfer I saw as well.
Yeah, he's a graduate transfer, but he's an old school Satchel Paige type pitcher.
Yep.
I was telling the guys that he's the kind of guy to get up in the morning, work the farm, go pitch 9 innings, get back in his car and go finish his work, and then he just goes.
Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have to say nothing else. But he's a tough kid, and, we just got him back, Saturday, I guess. He was in COVID protocol along with Parker and a few other pitchers. But, again, you got to give credit to Southern and this program. Coach Crenshaw, stepped in. You could tell that their staff is beginning to gel because that's kind of difficult when you have, a great leader. Really good staff. You can tell they're beginning to gel and make moves together, which the team is beginning to play better. Really impressed with some of the guys they got. Freshman, the left fielder, he's pretty good.
Isaiah Adams.
Yeah, and then the kid, the second baseman. So they got some good kids, man. We fought the Beast, and the Beast won. And actually, we fought both of them. We fought Jackson. And then we played Southern, and right now they're the best 2 teams right now in the SWAC. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But one thing about it, the season didn't end today.
No, it didn't.
And everybody knows that when the SWAC tournament comes, wacky stuff happens.
When SWAC tournament comes, everybody's record is 0. I mean, I don't even think anybody's played a game yet. When the SWAC tournament comes, it's 0-0 all the time.
Exactly.
Coach, you had a lot of shuffling with your batting lineups and your rotations. Talk a little bit about how that helps these guys. I thought it would help them, especially in terms of being uncomfortable, being used to being in different positions. Yeah. Talk about how that's going to help you and your team going into the month of April, which is a long month. It's a whole nother. It's like the second half of the season.
It is. One thing about it is you with having a young team, you try to get them some experience and playing a lot of guys in a lot of different positions. I'm looking toward the end and not the beginning. And you're going to take your lumps early. That's to be expected. And everybody that knows me, usually I'm really more and more fiery with my team. But this team right here, you got to piece it together.
Okay.
And then the other thing we also got to understand, again, you go back to the pandemic. We only had 4 practices in the fall, and then we started out pretty good in the spring, and then right when we was finishing to break 2 weeks for the season, we had 22 inches of snow in Pine Bluff, and then you turn around and have to play Tennessee. With a bunch of young guys, so they was kind of shell-shocked at first. But I can tell they're beginning to get it, and the one thing I do like about them still, just like today, they'll still compete. They don't go away. They'll compete. They just got to learn how to win, and then you also got to learn you never wake up a barking dog. That one inning when we had some guys slide in there, that woke Southern up.
Right.
And when you wake them up, then you really got to be on your P's and Q's. So that's the thing I was trying to explain to them down there during the presentation of the trophy is that, I've been on that side when you got a championship team. And you don't mess with a championship team because they'll hang 10 on you quick. But they did what they need to do. They got 5 runs, and they won the ball game.
We got a chance to catch up with Torrey Hunter yesterday. He talked about your relationship. Let's just talk it up about this weekend. What does this weekend mean to, not only SWAC baseball, but, HBCU baseball in general, Coach?
Well, SWAC baseball is HBCU baseball.
All right, I like that. I like that. I was trying to be neutral, man.
Everybody wants.
I'm with James on this one.
You have to be, but everybody wants to be.
Absolutely.
The SWAC baseball right now is the premier black college baseball conference because you just added Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M.
Yes.
This thing's finna get really, really good.
Oh boy.
I think we have a chance to challenge, the Southland Conference.
Yes.
We have a chance to challenge the Ohio Valley. So with those teams, the SWAC baseball is finna get really good.
As a Texas Southern alum, I'm gonna go along with Coach James' answer right there, man.
Just get ready, and then then having this stage right here in the Metroplex,
right?
It's a place that normally we don't get a chance to get in and play on this stage. It's gonna also help with recruiting.
And your shortstop is from right here,
exactly,
Plano, yeah,
exactly. But if you looked on that board today on both teams, you had kids from all over the country,
right?
And then you guys doing a great job of live streaming and putting it out there, then now that's going to be easier to help me come out and recruit more guys. Because I can say, hey, look, every year, we play in a Diamond Classic or we play in another Classic. And
right. Just like football does.
Exactly. But the difference is, had you had Prairie View and Grambling here, the crowd that we had yesterday would have doubled. You probably would have 4,000 or 5,000 people in here, and they have a huge party down there in left field.
They were down there last night after we left for at least 3 hours, man.
Those are the people from Pine Bluff. Those are my buddies.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, that's the Pine Bluff crowd.
I was surprised that they let the people put them out. Cause
and they stayed. The DJ was jamming.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Willie Roth had his Hall of Fame thing. We wouldn't leave, so I was kind of scared for Frisco, the town. But this is a great venue.
Right.
I would say next year's going to be better, and then plus with the absence of spring football, SWAC football, this is going to make this even better because now all the fans with Southern and Grambling and Prairie View and Pine Bluff and Texas Southern, they're going to be able to put their full attention on this event. I think that parking lot's going to be full of RVs.
We got to get the band here next year, Coach. We got to get the bands.
I'm not a band guy.
Oh, you're not a band guy? Okay,
gotcha. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not either. I'm old school too.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I think the experience, I think that draws some fans out.
But that's not what we're trying to do.
That's fine. No, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I know people in the SWAC get mad at me, but that's not what we're trying to do. I think the profile we're trying to show is what we got here, and it's going to get better. Just with the teams along, and then with all the Greeks, and the other thing is all the big time Black-owned businesses, that gave to this event, during a pandemic. I mean that's huge.
Want to talk about urban hydration?
Yeah, urban hydration, of course. Tender Smokehouse, of course. And then you had companies like State Farm, Kubota, and the list goes on and on. So that's a good thing. And then you got to think they were pleased with having something like that of their own in this town too, because just tell it like it is. We don't get a lot of events.
Come on, Coach.
And now that we got a presence here, I think it's going to grow so much. You may have barbecue pits and stuff out here.
No, we will have barbecue pits out here next year, definitely.
So cool.
Where do you go from here, Coach?
Well, hey, it's just you go back, you take them home, and you get them ready for next week. The beautiful thing about baseball is you don't have a week to wait. And then if we do, in my situation with having a young club, that's just more fundamental work that we can get done. So we're looking forward to. We got Little Rock on Tuesday, and then we got a big series next weekend with Grambling.
Okay.
If you looked at the SWAC here, it's kind of wacky in the West.
Yeah, we said that's what we talked about.
Because you had Grambling swept Southern, and then you had I think Southern got swept by
PV.
Two out of three
by PV. That's right.
PV. We go over and beat a tough Texas Southern team.
Right, 2 out of 3. I saw that.
I've been coaching 11 years.
You've been in since 2011, I think.
That's only the third time I've ever beaten Texas Southern in Texas Southern, and we had a run there for a while.
That's the third? Wait, you said that's
the third week
thought you swept them one time in 12, I think.
But what I'm saying is that's only the third time we won at Texas Southern.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Since I've been here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that was huge for us, and I think this weekend for us is going to be huge with Grambling.
Right.
Because if we can get back and win a series, then now you even everything out, because now Southern has to play Texas Southern. And Texas Southern is very angry right now because they lost their last 5 straight.
Grambling and you.
They lost 2 to us, 3 to Grambling. So, that's going to be another good series next weekend. And Prairie View been off. They got to kind of get it started, but Coach Riggins has done a really good job with his program.
Yes.
Hey, man, this is like the SEC West on our level.
Right. No, I get it.
So it's good.
Coach, man, thanks a lot for joining us, man. Congratulations. Great weekend. Thanks for helping, everybody in the part for putting this on. We know you had a big part to do with that as well.
Yeah.
And we look forward to more.
Definitely.
All right.
Can I get an elevator?
No, because I can't get one. I mean, if you can't get, I can't get one.
All right.
It's all good.
Might have some Gatorade down here.
That's sugar, man. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm vegan now.
So
wow. Okay. Good. Everybody say, "Well, what's wrong with you? You sick?" I was like, "No, I stopped eating meat. Stop eating meat and drinking, man. You know. So hey, I'm trying to live. I got 10-year-old kids, man.
Okay.
So hey, but thank you guys, man, and hey, keep doing what you do. And
I'll see you. I'll see you a couple more times before the year's over.
And y'all always welcome in Pine Bluff.
Oh, I know. We talked
forward to it. Road trip. I can make a road trip, definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully we can add some more stuff to the place and make it look even better for you. So
I'll follow you on Twitter, Coach. I see those daily pictures.
All right. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Coach Carlos James there, head coach of University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, the Golden Lions. As we bring in head coach of the Southern Jaguars, Chris Crenshaw. Pretty Chris Crenshaw. You know, one thing I know about the SWAC coaches, man, it's a family fraternity. Mm-hmm. You know, when these coaches get together, as we bring in the winning coach, head coach Chris Crenshaw in his first interim year of the Southern Jaguars, getting a sweep here in the Lone Star Diamond Classic. Coach, just tell me your thoughts about the weekend, man. Wrap things up for you guys.
Offensively, I thought we did well. We battled at the plate. We put together some at-bats in key positions. My starting pitching was terrible this weekend.
And can we stop? What happened with Allen over there at second inning? I mean, we know he only went 2. Was it just a coach's decision there? Is he okay?
Ain't nothing wrong.
Okay, gotcha.
His feelings hurt if anything.
Gotcha.
I took him out in the second inning.
Okay.
He was just throwing meatballs up there.
Yep.
They scored 4.
Yep.
It ain't a good recipe early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So. But my guys stayed in there. They battled. Relief pitcher came in and got us to the 7th inning.
Yep.
That kind of happened yesterday as well, and again today. Joe Battaglia is normally our ultimate warrior. He competes like no other on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
But today he just didn't have it. So
he's your Sunday guy.
Yeah.
He's your Game 3 guy. Talk about your offensive attack, man. One thing I saw you went to this weekend, you weren't afraid to play the small ball.
No, my first boss, my second boss, Coach Johnson over at Jackson State.
Oh, I know, Coach.
I was over there for about 5 years, and I learned from him, hey, try to get as many guys you can in the scoring position.
Right.
And sometimes that sack button or drag button, whatever you got to do to get on base. Move runners up.
Your team coach found a way to really inspire. I don't know if the little incident there with the slide there at the end of the third kind of fired people up. I saw you were speaking about Coach Battaglia there. I made note. You know, he was the one that kind of took the most offense out of it. I think your infielders kind of, we're like, okay, but Battaglia was like, no, that's not cool. And then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, let's clear everybody out. But I think that fired everybody up. It woke your team up a little bit. You feel like that might have woke a sleeping giant up, so to speak?
Yeah, because the next inning, I think that's when the attack came. That's when the 5 runs.
Yeah, pretty much. A couple innings later.
Yeah.
I don't know if it fired us up or not, but it got their attention. And I told them early, hey, you got to match their energy. They're going to come in. We beat them the first 2 games. We got to come out with some energy in the third game, man. We scored 2 early.
Yeah.
Got kind of comfortable. And we kind of laid down there for a little bit in the middle innings. And then Coach Doolin pulled them up and had a talk with them. And I told him, hey, you got to compete with the strike zone. You can't complain about it. If he calling the ball off, hey, we got to get a little closer to the plate, or we got to get him early.
Coach, I know we're going to get 2 of your players after this, but before we let you go, man, you get to take over a Southern program where, legendary program, and head coach Roger Kador, Coach Carrick Jackson. What do you see yourself, how do you see yourself taking over this role, and how important is it to you, and what does it mean, to this and to yourself, man, just in growing as a young coach?
Well, it means a lot to me. I played at Southern. My dad played at Southern, so it's a lot of tradition there as well. And I played for Coach Kadar. And Coach Jackson has been a mentor and been a really good friend to me for at least 10 years. He's been in my ear. As soon as I got into the coaching game, he was one of the first ones I met and took me under his wing and kind of been grooming me, along with Coach Johnson, who's done a lot for me as well. But it means a lot to me and my family to be where I am right now. I put in a lot of work, a lot of time, and to be right here now as the interim head coach at Southern is big for me.
All right, sounds good, Coach. We definitely appreciate that, man. Good luck the rest of the way. I know we'll see you in the SWAC tournament, and good luck, and hopefully, you guys can get to that regional, man. And, I know you guys got some unfinished business in that regional.
Yeah, we got a long ways to go to
Yep.
start talking about regionals. We got the second half.
The whole second half of the season.
Whole
right?
second half.
Yeah, we got Texas Southern next week.
Uh-oh.
So,
You woke me up there, man.
yeah, we got Coach
on
Mike
the
Robertson.
on the Texas Southern, right,
Yeah,
Coach?
He's a really good coach. One
Yeah.
of the good ones in our league.
It's all good, man. Hey, Coach, thanks a lot, man. I see we got your player of the
Thank you,
players of
Coach.
the weekend here. Tremaine Spears, number 11.
Yeah.
Omar Burgess.
Before we bring them, talk about these two young men and what they
Burgess, got you.
what they
Burgos.
mean to the program right now and this weekend. Talk a little bit about their performances before you go, Coach.
Well, first I'll start with O'Neal.
O'Neal.
He's our DH. He's right there in the middle. So, hey, they get on in front of him. Look, lately he's been coming through, driving runs in, and then we got Tremaine Spears, an experienced guy with a lot of at-bats, college at-bats, transfer, but he's doing well as well, grad transfer. So I lean on both of them a lot in our offense. So I keep telling them they're going to have to learn to be patient because they're going to stop pitching to him after a while.
That's a serious middle part of the lineup with those two young men right there, definitely.
O'Neal, you got the mic on, man. Do you only DH? I mean, you're like, I mean, you smashed this whole weekend, man. You did your job, and you didn't come out of that DH spot. Just talk a little bit about your offensive strategy, your offensive approach to the game of baseball, man.
Well, lately I've been DHing for the team, and that's been my role, and I absolutely take pride in it. And anywhere I can help the team, that's going to be it. And hitting wise, I just come out there and try to compete, win every pitch that I can win, every small victory, and whatever comes out of it, it's going to be good for the team.
Talking to Tremaine Spears now. Tremaine, your offensive attack, you came out today. I think you got the only home run for Southern this weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Taj Porter got one.
Taj Porter got one, too. Gotcha. So it was 2 home runs. Just talk about your offensive approach. And this your first year at Southern, or this your second COVID? Or
This is my first year at
your
Southern.
first year at Southern. Got you. Just talk about a little bit about your approach and what does it mean to be a Jaguar this year?
For me, my approach is really just try to stay middle with everything. I know I'm going to get pitched away. Sometimes they'll try to run it in, but as long as I stay middle of the field, I feel like that'll help me open up the field to where even if I am early, I can pull it down the line, or if I am late, I can put it down the right field line as well.
What does it mean to be a Jaguar?
It means a lot. So for me, it's more important that I think more of it as a second chance because of where I came from, which school I came from, and being able to come out and actually play and be myself. That's
so you have experience. Now, were you a part of the Lafayette team that made it to the NCAA tournament, or?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. That was,
you came after that.
A year after.
Gotcha. So, you're trying to you're older, you're a leader on a team. What are some of the things that you're doing, to show leadership and, just kind of take some kids under your wing?
I really let O'Neal take the vocal part.
Gotcha.
I try to do the more of the go out there and I show how I play. So I don't like jogging down the line. I'll try to run everything out if I possibly can. But if anything needs to get done, I'll be the one to go do it.
O'Neal Burgess, same question for you, man. What does it mean to be a Jaguar? How important is that to you right now?
It is very important to me, and they gave me the opportunity to come out here and put a jersey on, and I take that pretty serious. And these kids, man, they just want to come out and play, and we got a lot of young kids, so we're going to have to walk through whatever the things we're going to go through during the year. But they're furious, man. They want to come out to win, and that's what we're going to do.
Where you from?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
You're from Puerto Rico. Your favorite player from the island, who is it?
Javi Baez.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Yadier Molina, but you went with Javi Baez, right?
I really didn't enjoy catching.
What are some of the things that, you're bringing to the Southern baseball team? What are some of the things you're bringing to this program?
Energy. That's a big thing for me, and even if it's going good or bad, we're still pushing the same way, and we're rowing the boat the same direction.
Rowing the boat.
The same direction, and it's just have fun. Just have fun. It's still a game.
O'Neal, what did you enjoy about this environment, playing in this ballpark, this whole weekend?
Well, it was different. It was different. There's a lot of field for us to play with.
It's a big field.
And I enjoyed it, man. It's beautiful, and weather was amazing all weekend. So couldn't have had it better.
Same thing, Tremaine. What is your thoughts on being out here, Major League ballpark or minor league ballpark, but just the atmosphere and the environment here?
Scenery is beautiful here.
Yes.
I believe that this field is really second to none when it comes to minor league ballparks. It's a really beautiful field, great place to play at as well.
All right.
What are some of your best memories that you're having at Southern, man? When this is all said and done, what are some of the things that you're going to like saying about Southern so far that you've learned so far?
That's you.
For me, it's the freedom to play.
Okay.
Like that's been my biggest thing, is not being handcuffed and going out there to play.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's a bunch of dogs out there playing, and it's fun. It's really fun. Everybody's got personality, and we're a big family. And one of the best memories that we're gonna have is probably gonna be the fall when we're running them 6 miles at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's gonna be the best we got out of it.
I saw that look of, oh man, you brought that up. You had to bring that up. I know, I've seen that look.
Tried to forget that.
Yes.
Guys, good luck the rest of the season. You guys headed to Houston next weekend, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll see you guys down there. I'll be in Houston, so I'll definitely see you guys at the ballpark. Congratulations on the victory this weekend on the sweep, and good luck along the rest of the way, man.
Thank y'all
so much.
Guys.
We
appreciate y'all.
Be safe. Good luck the rest of the way.
Javi Baez, huh?
Yes, sir.
Javi Baez. All right, that's your guy.
Appreciate y'all for having us.
It's all good.
All right, thank you guys.
What a weekend.
What a weekend. Good weekend. Hey, good to be a Southern Jaguar. Make sure we shout those guys out again. Cannot underscore how impressive everything was. All of the help from the staff here with the Frisco Rough Riders, to the grounds crew, and those of you who made it out to watch a game or maybe all 3 games, you were treated to something that we are starting to see and we will see more and more of. We had great weather conditions, and it was just a pleasure to be able to call this game or be a part of this game. And hopefully anyone who listened, you became a fan of. If you weren't already, you became a fan of SWAC baseball, and you could tell the passion from Nick's voice. I mean, Nick is an alum. He played in it, been a part of it, lived it, breathed it, and it's been a pleasure to have Nick on with us in this broadcast. So to you, Nick, I got to say, hey, congratulations. Thank you educating me, educating us, and just sharing your love of baseball and then SWAC baseball with us. So we look forward to more opportunities and more opportunities to show people the premier HBCU baseball conference.
Yeah, I was trying to keep. I'm with Coach James, man. I'm trying to stay broadcast neutral, but sometimes you just got to flip and be honest and honest. And exactly. Like you said, I think SWAC baseball has come a long way, man. When I first started, playing at TSU, and I mean, obviously the SWAC was way before I was, but I think it's just coming a long way. As Coach Jackson said, we have to set ourselves apart. We have to hold ourselves to a certain standard if we're going to grow this thing. I'll just say the SEC didn't become the SEC overnight. Nope. The Big 12 didn't become the Big 12 overnight. The Pac-10 is now the Pac-12.
Something 12, 10. It was once 8.
It was once 8. 12, you mentioned it earlier, So
right.
What I'm saying is we're all growing in some aspects, and and you mentioned, thank you. I'm appreciative of you guys inviting me into your space this weekend as well. I've had a really good time, using what I know is broadcast and understanding the game of baseball to bring it to all the fans out there watching. I definitely want to see more of this, from a Black College Sports Network, from a baseball perspective. We get into the social media, and that's how I found out about what you guys were doing on social media, arguing with on social media as we always do. So with that being said, I'm definitely committed. I definitely love you guys, man. Definitely appreciate the invite, and obviously we'll do this again sometime soon. Thank you for your passion as well. I love this game, man, and I still want to know more about, you being a captain on the playground baseball team. We'll talk about that later on this evening, all right? Other than that, man, hey, had a good time, man. For everybody out there watching, thank you all for tuning in on the stream. For our technical producers, for our staff, from the whole crew back at the studios, from everybody putting on the production, BCSG 360, Torrey Hunter and his crew, Urban Hydration, Kubota, everybody out there sponsoring the broadcast tonight. For my color announcer, Brian Fulford, I'm Nick Strong. Thank you for watching. Southern sweeps the series, and they take 3 away from the Golden Lions in fine fashion here at Dr. Pepper Ballpark in Frisco, Texas. We'll see you next time here on the Black College Sports Network. Peace.